Let's go! Good day, everyone. Good day. How are you doing? Welcome to the Wildest Wake Up Show. I'm your host, Sharon Bracey. And every single day, we rebel against remedial rhetoric, and today is no different. I was having a good time this morning, laughing, joking, screaming, and yelling. How are y'all doing? When I say good day to you, make sure you say it back. Say good day, because I could feel that great productive energy coming through the screen. Yes. God damn it. We got to help build each other up. God damn. It's rough outside. People are afraid. People are scared. However, things have been changing, which is a good thing. Today is, what is it called? Liberation Day. Good day, Miss Jalen. How you doing today? I believe today is Liberation Day, and Donald Trump is supposed to be giving us some information. So we're going to see how that turns out. I will keep an eye on that. We're going to see how that looks. What? Oh, excuse me. What's up, Chris J? What's the word? Are people mad at you again? I'm not sure. I think they have focused their anger elsewhere because they realize that that anger that they hold inside has nothing to do with me. Said, all I do is pick up the mirror and say, plow. Have a look. Do you see? Do you see yourself? So, what I think, though, Chris J, to be honest with you, because we don't waste no time. We get straight into the content. That's why we need to hit that like and the share button right away so we can get as many as people involved as possible. Hitting that like and that share button. It helps us out tremendously. We are a part of this together. We are flying this plane, and we are building this plane while we are flying it. Let's stay above the ground. And what I've been seeing lately is that it's just really a clash of perspectives. Nobody wants to be the wrong person. Nobody wants to be the villain. Everybody wants to be the superhero. Everybody wants to be the correct person. And this is why we have so much. I do have a title. The title's not there. Kim West? Let me check. Maybe I didn't put a title. Let me see. Is there not a title? What is wrong with me? Lord have mercy. Thank you, Kim West. I do believe I have a title. Let me see. You know what? I would write a title right now with the thoughts that I have. Because I thought I did put one, but clearly I didn't. Thank you, Kim. Let me see. What can I name it? What is on my mind today? God damn it. All right. So that is on my mind list. Perspective. What's up, Reese? You know what I'm saying, right? Look, I have the thought of what I want to talk about. I just didn't actually have a title, but hopefully now I believe the title's there. If you refresh, it should be a title there. This is what's on my mind. And this is what I've been seeing lately within YouTube and in the real world. Because it's been a clash of this lately. What's up, Inky? Reese, the Gale, good day, sir. How you feeling? And thank you once again, Kim West. I be forgetting to do things. Y'all starting early in the chat. I love it. We start off with all this great productive energy. Make sure you say good day. God damn, I love this shit. It's always awesome. And I think a lot of people they are just blinded by their biasness, especially within it seems like our space of YouTube and outside purview and the things that's outside, workers versus bosses, men versus women, MAGA versus common sense. He's supposed to, so Trump is supposed to push out these new tariffs and how that's going to affect the auto industry. That's going to be very interesting. We also have the FBAs versus reparations versus white folks versus black folks that think like a white man and a white man that says he's more black than it's crazy. There's all these things be going on outside, inside and out. Oh, and also I took everybody's advice. I started watching that adolescence TV show. It is very interesting. What up, ADS? It is very interesting to say the least. And we see a lot of people just get into these damn fights and arguments and disagreements, and really it ain't about nothing. They be twerking for the orange face. This shit is crazy. And recently we was talking about, what's that young lady name, babe? What's the beautiful young lady? Felicia Rashad. We've been talking about that lately. All right, because she done hit the news and she been saying some weird things as of lately. Right. She's been saying some weird things that I don't agree with. And so, we have these husband and wife conversations because, marriage is a team sport. But half the time when we hear these people talking, we hear the husband thinks he's the couch and the wife is like, I didn't sign up for this. Husbands are out here like, why are you mad? And the wives are like, if you don't know, I'm telling you. But I promise you, if you want something done in that situation, just apologize. It ain't too late. Just apologize. It works better. Felicia said a lot of things wrong to Gail. She said a lot of things wrong. And this is probably why this adolescent movie is kind of a TV show, whatever you want to call it. It's probably important. Make sure y'all hitting that like and the share button. Inky, what you talking about? Saturday, Angry Man came on Izzy channel and Pierce was there. Okay. Angry Man had a breakdown because he said that black women weren't the worst than the white woman. Yeah, that's another perspective. That's another perspective. And people just don't want to be wrong on their perspective. They want everybody to understand them, but they don't want to understand anybody else. Right? And just to get with this whole tying it on with the black and the white wives and all these other things, right? Wives, they want emotional connection. And husbands, they want peace and quiet. And sometimes it seems like when we are on these panels, it's like mixing oil and water. But somehow what the panelists don't understand that it works. And all these men or all these husbands that be on the panel, you ever notice how they think that they are the logical ones? They say, they be like, I'm just saying the facts. But your facts is why you sleeping on the couch. Your facts is why women are saying today that they'd rather live separate from their husband. I have my own apartment. He have his own apartment. My house, he have his own house. It's because of your crazy, twisted up, ridiculous facts. That's why all these red pill incel, these Manosphere, these no good suckers, they have this thing twisted. You feel what I'm saying, Davey? They have it twisted. Like Empiricist, he has life twisted. He don't know. He don't have to be an asshole. He could just be a normal man. You don't have to keep pushing out this remedial rhetoric that he says every single day. And there's no way that you enjoy being lonely. Because men that have this kind of weird thinking, they be the ones that are lonely. And we can get you up out of there, but you're going to have to admit that, hey, I'm doing things wrong. Your facts is what got you lonely. Inky, I didn't cover the breakdown or anything like that. We didn't talk about it. I just didn't talk about it. We heard about it. We mentioned it a couple of times because just like you know, people want to hear my perspective on it. But you know, Imperius got Angry Man to feel a certain way because he's a white man. But guess what? Angry Man says the same thing Imperius says. But because now all of a sudden, because it's pushed towards him and a white man is saying it, now he sees the big problem in it. Because Imperius said now, but guess what? So as Imperius leaves, Angry Man is saying the same thing. The real problem is that Angry Man want to be the only black racist on the panel, and he feel like he can be a black racist on the panel because he's black. It's weird, Inky. You know what I'm saying? Devin Johnson, that's an interesting perspective. The difference from emotional connection and emotional dependence, and the difference in wanting peace versus being emotionally unacceptable. People need to learn these things. That's very interesting, Devin. When I open up the link, I would love you be able to hit the link and expound on that. Very interesting thought. I like it. I appreciate it. Make sure y'all hitting that like and the share button. We need to get these conversations out into the open more, so we can have these open perspective conversations and we can learn from each other. So we can get these men to stop thinking that they facts is a weapon. A lot of times they use a facts as a weapon. That's the problem. Wives, they just want you to listen. And husbands is like, I heard you. But bro, there is a difference between hearing and listening. So two different things. And marriage is basically two people. When we hear these panels, like we keep hearing it, like especially when the men are having a conversation about it. Marriage is basically two people trying to outlast each other's stubbornness. That's what it sounds like, especially to somebody that is unmarried. This is what it sounds like y'all men are saying. Whoever falls first has to do the dishes. It doesn't really work that way. And at the end of the day, love wins. And according to these panelists, it's only after a 3-hour argument about who left the cap on the toothpaste. These are silly arguments. What's up, EJ? Well, you welcome, Bubba. And Bubba, since you come here every day for that one reason, and we deliver every day, can you show some love and support to the show? God damn it, Bubba. You be here every day. You don't want to show no damn love and support to the show when we deliver every day? Kim West, that is hilarious, though. That is hilarious. And don't worry, we will open up the panel for anybody that disagree, want to get their points of views out. You know, we got you. I got you. And so, like, and time and time again, we keep hearing men are like women are too emotional. And then they forget that, bro, you punched a hole in the wall because your team lost. Let's talk about that. We see on these panels, it doesn't matter if it's an all-man panel or men or a mix of co-ed space panel. Bro, Y'all overreact when y'all hear a woman's voice just because a woman disagrees with you. It's all about perspective. We got to get perspectives out. It is okay. Also, women that like men don't communicate. And men like, I said I'm fine. And clearly you're not fine. Men think women are complicated. And women think men are simple. I don't know whose fault is that, but this is what people actually believe. And the truth is that we all just confused clearly. Because men and women, human beings, are complicated creatures. So that's what's up. What's up, fighter complex? Fighter complex is an interesting individual. He loves me, but he let people talk down on me. Why you let people talk down on me, fighter? You know you got love for me. Why you let those people try to gaslight you and say, yeah, Sharon is a piece of this, and you would never hang out with the fighter? Let them know we cool. Like, you from the Bronx, I'm from Brooklyn. It's okay. Ain't no love lost. They don't really understand. We could joke with each other and throw our cheap shots, and we still don't mean no malice towards each other. Just tell them the truth. Fighter combos, just tell them the truth that when you look in the mirror and you say what you say about yourself, you say you are a feminine male. Don't make me put up the evidence. Because I got the evidence of fighter complex looking in the mirror and says, damn it, every time you do that salsa move, you be dancing on feminine. What's up, Black? I agree with that, Black. The truth is the truth. That is it. That's what fighter complex says every time he look in the mirror. Good day, Maya Reed. You ever notice how, these men, they be thinking that they're the protectors? They be like, I'll fight for you. I'll die for you. She just wants you, listen, she just wants you to fight the urge to leave your socks on the floor. Pick up your goddamn towel, right, babe? Don't you just want me to pick up my towel? Just fight the urge of that. Stop leaving shit on the floor. Stop being a damn dirt bomb. That's what she wants you to do. Protect her peace as well. They want a man who listens. And you men are like, I want a woman who doesn't nag. And really, that's just a mutual respect, and you should try it. It's just called mutual respect. Men and women are like two sides of the same coin. Different, but you need both to make it work. Some of you, hey, we understand. We understand. Some of you, hey, but majority of people, we need two sides of the same coin. Different, but we need both of them to work. And at the end of the day, men and women just want to be understood. But instead of talking, we are out here playing emotional charades. And that is a problem. But Black says, what? Inky, I'm just going by what Fighter said. Fighter said he looks in the mirror and he's like, God damn you, Fighter, you're so damn feminine. What up, Kuma? Black says she should fight the urge to stay home and get a job. So I think a lot of women wouldn't mind doing that, but a lot of men just not capable of doing these type of things. It's a very difficult thing. Majority of men are not mentally ready to deal with that kind of environment. And that's just what it is. I know a lot of men want to just act as if they are prepared for that kind of environment, but they're really not. It is really not as easy as you think. Not even close. All right, so I guess people just don't want to hit the like button. It is what it is, for whatever reason. I don't know why they can't just Hit the like in the share button. Like, why is that so hard? What's up, Brownie? Good day, beautiful. How you doing today? I don't know why that's so difficult. Why they make this thing so difficult? It could be easy. This all just do what we gotta do. It's okay. We just gotta do what we gotta do. Let's talk about these perspectives, right? Everyone thinks they're right. No one's out here saying, you know what? Maybe I'm the problem. It's always the other guy. And that's why we stuck in this endless loop of debates. Red pill dudes versus feminists, husbands versus wives, Democrats versus Republicans, men versus women. It's a never-ending episode of who wants to be most stubborn. 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 Yes, that's a word. Yes, stubborn is a word. You are very stubborn. No, I'm not. Absolutely, child. You are. Where did I get it from? You got it from your mother. No. Absolutely. How you doing? You are stubborn, not Pepper. I'm stubborn? Yes. Thank you. Maybe go back. So you give him an inch. All you gotta do is give him an inch. Well, at least Black is being honest. He knows he is a problem. And maybe he's working on it. No, maybe he's working on it. Maybe just like Black, one day he looked in the mirror and he said, God damn it, I'm feminine. He's fighting the urge, yes, which is a good thing. It's good to fight the urge of be masculine, move in your masculinity. Jay Villa, just like most of the women that's in our space, yes, my daughter is correct. See, and shout out to Brownie. She says, you know what? I'm a goddamn problem too. Shout out to Brownie and Black. That is dope. That Brownie and Black are both accepting their challenges of who they are as a human being. Because us as human beings, we are very complicated, to be honest. Like, sometimes we all joke with each other, whatever. Black would say, hit the dislike button. And, but at the end of the day, we all know when we just be honest and we understand that we are a problem, that's how we can start moving towards fixing something. Like when we just honest with the truth and say, hey, this is my issues and I need to work on these things. When we could just be honest with ourselves and then we can be honest with society. That's how it really works. Brownie said, no matter what it is, it's her fault. And so, but we understand that just happens with this red pill manosphere versus feminism shit that be happening, right? Like the red pill guys are out here like women only want money and status. And Felicia Rashad proved that it might be correct. We ain't talking about Claire Huxtable. We talking about Felicia Rashad. She might have proved that women only want money and status. Meanwhile, feminists are like, men are trash. I'm just sitting here like, y'all ever just talk to each other? Maybe if y'all sat down and just talked without it being that you have to prove a point. Maybe we'll get somewhere. Red pill dudes think they're in the Matrix. They think they on the Huxtables. They think they're in a different world. They live in the fantasy world. You're not Neo, bro. You just mad because homegirl didn't text you back since high school. Just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, and it's okay. And we understand that we got feminists out there fighting for equality, right? It's fine. And we understand that the rim bros, the red pill instead of manosphere guys are like, but what about me? They don't realize that it's like showing up to a women's march with a man's right sign. You need to read the room, my fella. My God, read the room. That's the issue that a lot of men have. They're not able to read the room. Shout out to Black says he is not for everyone and he's okay with that. That is awesome because I feel the same. I'm not for everyone. And I'm perfectly okay with it. Some people fucks with me, some people don't. We can tell that majority of people do want to rock with me, but they scared to show me love by hitting a like button, hitting the share. We understand, hey, that's just what it's going to be. Not everybody's going to rock with you for real, but it doesn't stop nothing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really stop nothing for real. Right, Ms. Jayla. And everybody do believe is actually just about them. That's the real issue. They really believe it's just about them. Like, nah, it's not. We just out here communicate. We're just having conversations with each other. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You just need to read the room because both sides are busy yelling. They forget the point. Feminism is not about hating men, and masculinity isn't about hating women. But try telling that on these goddamn YouTube spaces. It ain't supposed to be about hating men or hating women. That's not what this is supposed to be about. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And this shit is like a bad rom-com. Two sides that secretly need each other but refuse to admit it. The manifest says what? Women are too independent now. Bro, you ever think maybe, just maybe, they had to be. It's not like a bunch of men was exactly stepping up. And at the end of the day, both sides want respect, but instead of building bridges, they're out here burning them like it's the 4th of goddamn July. That is a problem. That is a problem. And anybody that want to, right, what is this Keisha Black? Perfect. What is too independent when they have to defend for themselves? That is a issue that a lot of people have as well, right? They got to get outside and start actually talking to real human beings. And a lot of them are not just able to just communicate. They get so caught up in their team is winning. This is why so many men get caught up in masculinity and manosphere talking points and demand this and the same thing from the other side. I mainly like to talk about men because I've been through all these different stages of being a man. I don't know how it is to be a female. And that's just the truth about it. You know, I dropped the link early today. Let's see where this goes. Let's see where this goes. You know, we also have the black and white argument all the time, every single day, which is very weird. And we could easily just move along. What up, Chuku? You know, speaking of, right, as soon as I said, like, you know, it's even a black situation, it's a black perspective, a FBA versus a tether, right? It's all about perspective there as well. And everybody needs to just be able to hear the other person out. Byron Turner said that disrespecting the streets make it too difficult. And we all know we want our women to be independent. We do not want them to be so, like, you know, like it cannot be both sides of the coins. And the problem is that a lot of men, they want to go back into this time when women had no choice. That's not a good look. It's not how the things is going to move forward with progress. It is not going to move forward with progress that way. Only way we can get it, we start listening to each other and we can move forward as a unit. It doesn't matter. Like, we could just hear the person out. It don't always have to be some goddamn big fight and say that you are right, you wrong. It don't have to be that goddamn way all the damn time. So whether it's red pill, feminism, husbands and versus wives, Democrats versus Republican, or men versus women, the problem isn't that we're different. The problem is that we're too busy trying to be right and actually listen. You don't have to agree with somebody to understand them. You don't have to win every argument to make progress. You don't. And so this whole idea that it's just a man's world or a female's, like, nah, we live together. It ain't. It's no more of this going backwards idea. This whole idea that it's just a man's world and men just going to be around each other. We going to be outside working while every woman's in the house hot. That it's never really actually worked that way. Women always been outside working with us side by side. They always work. We was the hunters. They was the gatherers. This whole, we keep believing in this whole fake ass idea of the Claire and Bill and Cliff. It doesn't really work that way. Shout out to the Cash App. Shout out to my guy. It said something to help you fight these YouTube gangbangers. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really do. Chuku says the red pill is an equal and opposite reaction to third wave. So this whole idea that they got different waves of this shit, like feminism, third, fourth, 10th generation, that it don't have nothing to do with any of that shit. The reality is that men gonna have to step their game up if they want a woman. Like, you gonna have to make a decision if you want a woman or not. And a lot of men are afraid to just say that they want a woman because they're afraid of being called a simp by another man. And men do not move that way. Hey, listen, you see a woman out there that you enjoy, go ahead and be with that woman. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you actually wanting to be with a woman and finding your partner, finding your mate. You only need to get it right one time. It is. Chris J, I believe it is some kind of crowd. 99% of RIM also voted for Trump. Gotta be some type of correlation. I agree 100% that it is definitely some type of correlation between MAGA. It's because of the whole masculinity thing. Because the whole MAGA Trump situation, he ran his whole campaign off of masculinity. Not even a productive type of masculinity. So because like politics is like that family dinner, right? Democrats and Republicans are cousins who can't stop fighting, and the rest of us are just trying to eat in peace, right? Democrats are like, we need change, and Republicans is like, we need tradition. Meanwhile, the country, as we could tell, we need therapy. Republicans think Democrats are too soft, and Democrats think the Republicans are too harsh. They got this whole Goldilocks effect. And it's the same thing with the way how they think in this whole red pill space. Whatever, likely. You know what I'm saying? And we need to just be able... Right, we need no government, we need therapy. That's what a lot of people need. We hear a lot of times when we have these conversations, we are trying to focus the conversation towards one direction, and then it turns into a conversation about them and what they do and how I do this, I did this, and I. Well, we are having a conversation, and the conversation wasn't about you. I rarely even talk about myself and my life in these conversations because it's just not fair. It's anecdotal. It's me. I figured out what works for me. Just like Black said, he realized he's a problem for whoever he's dealing with. It's not fair for Black to put himself into every conversation because we ain't gonna never get nowhere because nobody knows Black personally and nobody's trying to blame him for anything. And for us to just move forward, we just need to be honest with the information that's in front of us at the time and stop trying to have a gang banging culture. Say, hey, men versus women, who's better? Men are better because men are stronger. Well, that doesn't mean anything. Yes, you are physically stronger. That is awesome. You are great for that. So patriarchy, it doesn't really. So the problem with this whole idea, Royce, and you can hit the link. I have no problem with it. You got anybody can hit the link. We can have a conversation. The patriarchy is settled in the base around men just doing things and women not doing things. That is the problem. It's no bringing us together to the table and having a conversation and actually build something. Men that never built anything put themselves in the same boat as the men that built something. They never did it. They don't have the experience. They don't have the intelligence. They don't have the communication skills. They don't have the, and then they just put themselves as at the top of every patriarchy thing. They feel like they are the best. And when we really break it down, that they are not the best option. Zero tolerance. And so, a lot of people just do not understand like how dangerous this whole patriarchy system is, because it turns into a he-man women's haters club, and then now they try to turn all feminist talking points into some male bashing talking point where that's not the truth. There's really no proof of it. Majority of people are attempting to get along with each other. However, with all this negativity, it's starting to spill out into the world, the real world. This is why they starting to do TV shows. It's called Adolescence. It's not even a TV show about America. It's a TV show about across the pond. So Royce says, do feminists not include all men in the patriarchy? No, because a feminist doesn't look at me as something bad, because I'm not trying to hold no goddamn woman down. I'm not trying to fixate and say, you shut up, you're a woman, you can't do anything. That's what the problem is. Majority of feminists are just fighting for equal rights for a woman because it's not equal outside. Even you, Royce M., you don't look at it as give her equal opportunity. Equal doesn't mean the same outcomes. And so the problem is that a lot of men, they get hurt when a woman says, I'm strong and independent, right? And she don't need no man. She doesn't. She doesn't. What's up, wrong class? And we see it time and time again, every single day, that women do not need a man. Majority of people, men and women, decided not to have children. We talking about young people that have good careers. They are decided not to have children. This whole teen pregnancies and all that, they don't need them. They want, for us to move forward in harmony, we got to want to be with each other and deal with each other. Deal with a woman for being a woman, and she got to deal with a man for being a man. And stop using your nature as a way to be negative. Majority of men, when we hear and have these conversations, they are using their nature as a way to be negative towards a woman and being dishonest and deceitful towards a woman. It's my nature to put my thing inside of everything that's moving. It ain't my fault that I got a million sperms. I got to release it somehow. No, you don't. Stop using your nature as a form of excuse to be a dishonest human being. There is a such thing as equality in nature. That's the problem that y'all not understand. That's a problem that majority of men are not understanding. It is equality with a gazelle and a lion. They have equality. This is the real world. They are equal. The gazelle runs faster than the lion. It is what it is. The lion got to catch the slowest gazelle. So this idea that equality means that you are the same is nonsense. That's the problem with a lot of men. Most men are not equal to another man. A lot of men are not equal to me. And vice versa. I'm not equal to men. It's somebody that's doing better than me. And I'm not equal to him. I'm lower than him. And that also means that I'm higher than some of you. So equal does not mean that we are the same. But you can strive for to be better every single day. Men could strive to be better. That is equal. That's so the problem is survival of the fittest. That's what makes it equal. Because whoever runs faster out of all those gazelles that's being chased by that lion, only the slowest one is going to get eaten. And you just got to get out of this mindset that everything has to be one-to-one. This is the problem with a lot of men. They have very small thinking. They think everything got to be one-to-one. Everything got to be in a literal sense when they are trying to have an argument. This is all about the perspective thing. A giraffe. I see a woman and a giraffe see a woman with a hat. I can see her full outfit. A giraffe might only see the brim of a hat. He's looking down. He has a different perspective. How you take the disrespect is your perspective. Because a lot of times when we having this conversation, the person is not intending to be disrespected until you explain to them, hey, what you just expressed to me is in a disrespectful manner to me. So that doesn't have anything to do with being equal because that is your own perspective. Again, men think that they are the main character. I think maybe a majority of, you know what, I think a lot of men have a main character syndrome. They actually think that a woman screaming or yelling or talking aggressive means that they are disrespecting them personally. And now she disrespect all men. They would hear somebody like PhD Diva prove a point and they say, see, there you go. She raised her voice when we have a panel full of men. And guess what? Voices are being raised. Nobody say nothing. And a lot of times when we having these conversations, when they points are disproved, what they would tend to do is just move on to another point. And they would just keep going down a rabbit hole of points at the point until you finally say, yes, I agree. And then they say, see, I told you. You agree with me. Like, no, I agree with this one thing, not the other 122 things that you just said. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got over 100 people in the building. Let's get to over 100 likes, please, and thank you. As we keep this conversation moving, let me pin this message. Make sure you go pick up some of the clothing. We just opened up a new clothing store, the solutionbasedgroup.com. Please go check it out. Pick up something. Support the show with a like, share, 99 cents, Cash App, PayPal, a shirt, a like, a share. All those things, any one of those things, a combination of it all. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Any kind of support is much appreciated. And the problem is a lot of men, they keep thinking that they are part of, I built the world. And you were not a part of that. And it is okay to say that you are not a part of that. It is okay for men to just move forward and be honest with who they are. We say the problem is that a lot of the men that talk about this red pill, blue pill space, they are the ones that are afraid to talk about the red pill and just be truthful. Just be truthful and honest. Me too. I think that's my, I like that one too, Miss Jalen. Like, you cannot keep building off of lying. We have to move forward in a certain space. This is why we keep trying to tell young men, men, period, you need to recalibrate. It doesn't even matter your age. You need to recalibrate your value system. You need to take out that lust and degeneracy from off the top of your dome. You need to replace it. You need to replace that with God. A lot of you need to. Y'all need Jesus for most of y'all. And it's okay for us to keep moving forward. We got to start moving with some righteousness in our thought patterns. You know what I'm saying? And if we'll just move with honesty and integrity, we can see, like, and what integrity means. Because I was asked this question which is crazy to me, right? Is that integrity means that you're willing to do something in private as you do in public. You know what I'm saying? And so like I think a lot of men, they get so caught up with this imagery of faking it till they make it. So they fake as if they some kind of productive male in society. This is why they keep attaching themselves to men built this, men are the police, men are the firefighters, who built the roads, who built this, and who built that. It wasn't you. It wasn't even your ancestors. It wasn't even your cousin. Majority of you men don't even have men in your family that is working in construction or in politics or inventors. And we could just, men, we could just move forward and just be honest about what is actually happening in today's society. We'd be fine. And women could move forward because women want to be with men, but the men gonna have to present themselves in a certain way. They keep moving in a way that they believe that just because they are men and they have a penis and they get all of this sperm in their body that's produced every day, which is not, sperm is not a million sperms produced every day. That is not true, not even a little bit. And just because, even if it was true, your nature is not to put your penis and impregnate as many women as possible. One of the horrible talking points that men are always talking about is that they could get 5 women pregnant at one time, but all 5 of those women can only get pregnant once every 9 months. It's a horrible argument. And so again, so Black believes that he's helping maintain the internet. You are not helping maintain the internet. Brownie. Maybe it is Brownie's fault. So Chuku, I do not agree with that. So this is exactly like when FBAs take credit for their ancestors' inventions, though it is not. Because if it's my ancestor, that is a direct correlation to me. Most of these men do not have ancestors that have built anything. They daddy never built no house. They daddy never even stayed in the house to even help raise them. So there's no correlation to that whatsoever. If Black was to not do another thing on the internet is not going to go anywhere. The internet is still going to be maintained. This idea that he believes he's maintaining the internet is crazy. Maybe you helping one software team, but if you was to leave, whatever problems that you think you fixing, it would not just, they be fine without you. Men got to get this idea that they are that important, that if they was to not be here, that one man was not to be here, that they going to stop something. It's not true. It's okay. Relax. That's not a rim, brother. So, we got fighter complex saying, hey, the FBA claimed they fought for this country, which they have. We know they have, right? We know that this is not even up for debate. They didn't just fight in wars. They also fought for civil rights. They also fought on YouTube as well and on TikTok, right? It's a continuous fight. It's crazy. So Chuku says, why do you want to feminize men? What have I said that was you're gonna have to hit the link because I don't understand that. I do not understand that for the life of me. I do not even. So what a part. So Chuku, what part of me telling men that they need to take responsibility for themselves, to take out lust and degenerate from the top of their value system and replace those things with integrity, honesty, leadership? Like what part of me? What part of that is feminizing a man? Please. Don't everybody rush. Let me make sure that the link is dropped, because they be trying to act as if somebody's scared to have a conversation. What part of what I'm saying feminizes any man? You can't prove it. This is what I'm saying. That we just got to be able to be honest with the words that we are saying and communicate with our words instead of communicate with a narrative. That's another perspective thing that men try to do, right? They want to paint a narrative. They want to talk towards a narrative instead of talk to what the person is actually saying. Shout out to oh Lord.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Pax Americana with the 10 says men will not be feminized. My reparations, by the way. Thank you so much, Bumpkin. Pax Americana, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Chuka said he need a minute. You getting some money. Maybe you getting some money at the ATM so you could you go to send a goddamn. Let me lock the doors. So Roy Sam, I think the problem is that what I was fighting for is that, hey, listen, whatever your child is going through, that's what you're gonna have to deal with. It's just what it is. You as a father, hey, if you get put in a position where your son he has something that's against your morals, hopefully you did everything correct within the household where he doesn't move that way. But if your child does go astray, I think you as a father still should support your child. You feel what I'm saying? So like I'm not gonna ever talk down on a father that seems that that's what he needs to do for his son. I'm just happy that I'm not in that position. What's up, Corinne? And so like, and then it's okay. Like I think a lot of times, like even in these spaces, this perspective of being just disrespectful is a way to how they think that you're supposed to get attention. What happened? What happened? I'm old, goddamn it. I don't know. ATM at the moment. I don't know which one is which, goddamn it. He said busy at the ATM. So I thought he was at the ATM at the goddamn bank. I ain't no busy at the moment. I don't speak in this goddamn new language, goddamn it. I ain't used to all these goddamn. I speak English, the King's English. Ah. You know what I'm saying? And so, and if we just gonna keep moving forward, and we just gotta realize what is actually being masculine, what is being feminine. A lot of the things that these men be trying to fight for is not very masculine. That is not moving in masculinity at all. Shout out to Thomas. I got you. Hey, all I'm saying is that a lot of the men that I counted that be attempting to argue, they really don't have a leg to stand on, Thomas. They really do not have a leg to stand on. They say crazy shit like, Sherrod, you try to feminize a man when I'm telling them to do nothing but man-ish. I'll tell them straight up do men things. And they say, oh, you being feminine, which is crazy to me. And that shows that they are moving and they are feeling very feminine. This is why people like Fighter Complex, he literally looks in the mirror and tells himself, stop acting feminine today. Like these men, some of these men, they don't realize it's just arguing with a woman in a very catty way is feminine. They'll literally argue with a woman in a feminine way. And she'll say, shut up, you ugly. He like, I'm ugly. Bitch, you ugly. What are you talking about? You the ugly one. Look at you. You're fat. You're this, that. Like he don't even realize that he's arguing in a very feminine way. It's crazy. A lot of men don't realize that, hey, listen, a man being ugly doesn't actually affect if you're going to get a girlfriend or not. Women don't care that much about it. Not as much as men care about it. Yes, women do care about a man look, but that is to her. Right now, I'm watching the goddamn TV show Adolescence. You know what I'm saying? When I was watching the TV show Adolescence, I finally started watching it, and they were starting to talk about this goddamn. They mentioned the man. They literally in the TV show they mentioned the Manosphere, Andrew Tate, and the 80-20 rule, and I was like, that is crazy. When you really think about it, that young kids, young men, and this is why they don't understand that this is affecting young men. This is not just going towards people that's 30, 25 and up. This is also affecting young men, and is warping their ideologies, and they turning them into Rembrandts. They turn them into lovers of men. This is why a lot of men are single. Is because they actually believe in that every woman, every single woman that they are trying to date believes in this 80-20 rule. What is the 80-20 rule? It means that 80% of women, what's up, Nay? 80% of women go after 20% of men. I'm talking Kimbo your stuff. Oh, let me see where we at with the likes and the shares, goddamn. Goddamn, we still didn't get to 100 likes. That's crazy. Huh?
You know, it takes a lot. Sometimes
it shouldn't take that long when we have over 100 people there. Like, all you gotta do is just hit the like button. Yeah, some people do forget. I agree with that. Sometimes we do forget. We just get caught up right into the conversation, or get caught up right up into the chat. Yeah, Ms. Jada, I really, and Zero, I don't believe that majority of women, like, people will literally say Jason Statham is a handsome dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think men features are just differently than how we really, like, we need to really talk about it. It's somebody that think Trump is a nice looking man, because it's more than just his goddamn looks. It's about his whole aura as a human being. Majority of men do not realize that this 80-20 rule does not really exist for real. And the reason why there's 80% of women want 20% of men doesn't really exist. Zero tolerance. Because zero tolerance, if women have eyes, every woman will look at me and say, God damn it, Sharon! Woo! You make my vagina go woo woo. But in reality, every woman do not look at me that way. Welcome to the show, Digel. Good day, sir. How you doing? What's your thoughts?
Good day, Sharon. Good day, everybody on the channel. I'm just listening right now. Come to join the conversation. If I feel like I got to jump in or want to jump in, I'm just listening right now.
All right, so right now I'm at the point I was talking a little about the show Adolescence, and the part of the TV show. It's the second episode, I believe I just got to, because it's not easy for me to actually watch a show. But what made my ears perk up is that the 80-20 rule. Do you believe in 80% of women are going after 20% of men?
I tend to lean that way, only because when they do these street interviews, and when you see the podcast and they ask certain questions, it seems like the answers that the ladies give, they're looking for the top 20% of men, like high income. They want which every man doesn't have. You know, you got the everyday man out here doesn't have what these ladies are looking for: 6'2", you know, they give kind of the generic answers for the most part. So I think that's why I would lean towards that. If they could if they had a choice, like they would choose the, you know, obviously the better well-off man.
Right. So that's usually the problem, right? Because when you asking these individual people, you asking for the greatest human being that they could think of. Right.
Yeah.
And majority of people are not dating or marrying the greatest person that they can imagine in their mind. Majority of people just cannot do that. Scorpio Freak with the $2. Good day. Hit the like button. Thank you so much, Scorpio. I appreciate you. And so I think that's the problem, that men get caught up in the fantasy of what a woman would love. Like if she could just build her own man out of clay, she would build him this perfect thing. And then now they think that every woman wants this perfect thing. That's just a fantasy. Just like if we was to go to a man, they all say the same type of fantasy that most women are not. They will literally say Clay Huxtable and she's fake.
Yeah.
She's not real. She is so imaginative. They would link her to Felicia Rashad literally when Felicia Rashad's real life is exactly what they talk about. Married 3 men, monkey branch, and this is the woman that they always complain about, right?
Yeah. I mean, we grew up on these fantasies, so this kind of ingrained in us. So yeah.
And so we can just start being more honest with each other, right? Majority of women are not looking for the top 20% of men. The top 20% for her is what she's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's the real confusion of everything. She's looking for the top 20% for herself, because your idea what a 20% woman is not the same idea that I have what is that 20% woman, and vice versa for the ladies. Fight a complex to some woman out there. Fighter's feminine ways is a top 20% man. Good day, Fighter. How you doing today, sir? Did you look in the mirror and have that talk with yourself today? You break it up a little bit. I'll wait until you get a little bit more clear, because I know sometimes when you can't really hear. And they said y'all twin brothers. Yeah, try it again, Fighter. Nah, not yet. Not yet. So, so I think that's the problem, that majority of men are not really recognizing that she is talking about the 20% that is good for her. And that 20% man for her is going to be different between every individual woman. Us men are not no monolith. You might be 200 pounds, I might be 180. Guess what? For both of us, we might be the 20% of some women.
So what do you take from that 20%? What does 20% mean to you?
Nothing.
No, nothing.
No, I don't even care about it. I don't care what a woman says. I know I'm one of the best men in the world, even to Beyonce. So whatever she think of 20%, it don't matter, because if she was to meet me, I would break that whole idea. And people like, what? And everybody be like, what? That's Sharon Knowles now. They would talking hella shit. Beyonce, she's running that relationship. Beyonce is telling him Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? That's what they would say from the outside. So that 20% that what women want, it doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
Because I look good to every woman that I walk by.
I can dig it.
Except for this one, because clearly he's want to judge. He want to go ahead. He want to look at him. He just can't help himself. He just can't help himself. So, and I think if a majority of men would just be the very best that they could be, they'll realize they are the top 20% for a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not the top 20% for 80% of women.
Yeah, you just gotta level up. Hit that gym, get your money up. Let's step it up.
Stop wearing these goddamn graphic tees.
I mean, I like graphic tees, but
Exactly. Exactly. You too up. Hey,
never too old.
After you get your boot thing, then yeah, you can wear your graphic tees in the house. But if you out there and you want to be a part of the dating world, you got to present yourself as the best you could be, so you can actually be seen for a top 20%. But if you always presenting yourself at the lowest you could be because you want to be comfortable, That ain't correct. Shout out to what? I can't believe it. Bubba Homeschool with the $5. Here's some love to help you survive the tariffs. Much respect to your grind. Happy Liberation Day. By the way, I can introduce you to Beyonce. I appreciate that, Bubba Homeschool. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. So yeah, so I think if men would just concentrate on who they are as a human being, they will elevate themselves mentally and physically and financially, because all those things is actually a part of this whole top 20% situation.
Mhm.
And majority of them think that you just automatically fall into this top 20% because you're 6 foot and you're 6 figures and you don't have no child, but that's not true. It ain't just that. Just like a woman just being in shape, no children, and have a certain weight, that doesn't mean you're gonna just be chosen by the top. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. If your attitude is messed up, guess what? Nobody want to be with you. They don't care how good that vagina is. They don't care how good your body look. They don't, none of that. You're done.
I agree.
And so, and just like, and another thing that men need to start recognizing, that like, just because you are chasing women, it doesn't mean that it is not women out there that is just as incelly as these men. There's a lot of women that cannot communicate with men. They just as horrible. What's up? Conversation with MJ. And it's okay to recognize those things. So if men would just start pedalizing anything a woman says and work on themselves, they'll realize that none of this shit matters. This whole 80-20% rule, it don't matter for real, for real. It's not a real thing. Because guess what? The 20% of a man that is in California, imagine that California dude goes to Kentucky. What is he?
Yeah, it's all relative.
He might be the 1% now.
Mm-hmm. That's why they say she in Minnesota 6, but in California, you know, it's all relative in terms
Right.
of looks and all that.
Right. And so what that really means for me is that it doesn't really matter. All I gotta do is worry about building myself and being the best communicator that I possibly can be. And once I'm not afraid to take this mask off and we could peel back this goddamn onion, we could turn this into a crowd fest. I am who I am is good enough for the world. That's what we got to be talking about. Welcome to the show. Good day, Brownsville, New York. How you doing, sir?
Yo, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. First of all, cuz am I coming through clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, let me take my shoes off before I walk into this room. Peace and love to the beautiful queens in the chat, man. Anya Bracy, the SBG First Lady, Robin M, DB, Sugar Bum, Bomb Cherry Juice, Rogue C, It's Me, Dr. G, Sexy Red TV, the Supreme Goddess, PH Diva, Conversations with MJ, Miss Jalen, Genesis, Talking to Ken Folks, M Mills, Milk Mommy, Brownie Ellie, Zero Tolerance, Dawn, Renee, Keisha G, all the queens, man, all the queens. I don't want to forget about none of the queens. Every time I hit this platform, I'm making my purpose to lift y'all up, give y'all flowers, and show these men, show these knuckleheads how they should be treating the ladies, the queens, and the women on this internet, man. And peace and love to the kings as well. Can't forget about the kings. Listen, cuzzo, you said something that kind of provoked the thought, right? Because when I hear men say, you know, when you tell them to recalibrate their value system, and they're saying you're promoting feminism by correcting men, what I'm really hearing from these men is they want it to be okay for the soft guy era.
Oh, shit.
They want it to be okay to live in the weak man era.
Damn.
They want it to be okay to live in the house husband era.
Woo.
You see, what I'm learning about these rim brothers, these no good suckers, the red pill men, the incel men, the manosphere men, these men who have built their ideology on competing with women, comparing themselves to women, and tearing women down, is they say they want and they are interested in having a relationship with a woman, but every time you hear them speak and every time they jump on the internet, all they do is protect and defend men. Those two things don't go together, my brother, because if you love women, you're going to be loving to women. You're not going to be afraid or ashamed to come on the internet and defend women, to protect women, to uplift women, right? If that's what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. But when we hear you guys talk, when we see y'all, all y'all do is defend and protect men, which brings me back to the lovers of men ideology. So let me get this straight. If a man tells another man, listen, my brother, the reason why you're not getting the outcomes that you wanted to get is not because the woman say she wants you to be 6'2", she wants you to have 6 figures, she wants you to have 6 inches and all of that crazy weird talk. It's because she wants you to have some honor, some integrity, some self-reflection, some self-discipline, some self-control. Stop being so easily emotionally triggered. Stop competing with the woman, right? Stop comparing yourselves to women, because if the woman wanted the woman, she wouldn't be looking at you. But the problem is, if you looking at that woman and you see her as competition, you see her as somebody that you got to compare yourself to, then she don't see you as a man, not a strong man anyway. She sees you as the weakling that you are. See, I think the main problem is men are now deciding to walk away from accountability. So when we was having a conversation yesterday, Cuzzo, it didn't surprise me that the men were saying, well, you know, I'm not responsible for how my children turn out. And if my children go wayward, guess what? That's on them. I'm going to blame my child, right? See, it used to be a code of ethics between men that we embraced accountability. We embrace responsibility. We embrace the ability to solve problems, right? You know, whenever my wife got an issue, I love when she called me and say, hey, I got an issue and I don't know how to resolve it, right? Because that's my time to shine. That's my time to step up and be a man. And once again, let my wife know that any problem that arises, I'm going to be the one to solve the problem. That's called embracing responsibility. That's called embracing hard things and hardships and everything not being easy. Embracing, establishing more trust, more provision, more protection. All of those things strong men gravitate to. But in this weak man era, it's feminism, right? To do those things. They want to call you a simp. They want to call you a feminist. They want to say, well, you align with women. No, you align with a lovers of men mentality. And that's what you got to understand, right? You might as well put a rainbow on your shirt. Not a graphic tee. Just put the rainbow on your shirt. Just come up and say, listen, I'm for the rainbow community. I'm for the lovers of men community. Stop calling it feminism. Stop calling it simping. Just call it for what it is, right? You come on this platform so that you can compare yourself to a woman and compete with a woman and go back and forth with women. But then you double-minded and not understanding that you are saying you're a heterosexual man who wants to be in a relationship with a woman, right? So even if, Cuzzo, you remember back in the day, you come outside and there was a woman who everybody was like, man, she hard to get. That was a competition amongst men. Yeah, I'm going to be the one that's going to get her. I'm going to be the one that's going to put her up under my wing and show these other men that you couldn't get her, but I could get her, right? Men used to compete with other men in order to get these complicated women, right? That was a task that we embraced. Now, all of a sudden, the complicated woman that these men saying, oh no, they want these women to just change because they're not embracing the task of actually utilizing your value and your characteristics to bring that woman under your strength. I need these brothers to embrace being stronger, recalibrate their value systems, stop comparing yourself to women, stop competing with women, and uplift women and show that you're a strong man. Because if you show yourself to be a strong man, then none of these other things that you coming over here complaining about is gonna even matter. Because every woman gonna look at you and say, look, that's a strong man that I want to gravitate towards. Stop listening to the lovers of men, those no good suckers that y'all listen to every day that's telling you, oh, these women are 304s and this and that, all of that crazy rhetoric, right? Go out, touch grass, and actually speak to women in your real life. And then you will understand that all they want is a strong man. All they want is a leader. All they want is a provider. All they want is a protector. All they want is for a man to take accountability and responsibility and embrace the ability to solve problems. It's not difficult. Just do it. You wear Nike all the time. So why don't you just do it, man? Peace and love.
That is awesome. Man. Hey, let me see. I gotta do that and let me save it. Okay. Boom. I gotta find this. All right, let's do that. Thank you. I'll be forget. Yeah, she told me a little late. It's okay. But so I think that is awesome, right? Like we definitely gotta be, and I think times is changing now. I think men are they are really starting to realize that this whole red pill incel Manosphere, this no good sucker ideology is not gonna work in real life. It was sounding good online, and that it was a space for men to communicate and express frustrations and all that. It sounds good. It sounds logical when you really hear it. Like we're like, yeah, let's go to a place where we can all get together as men and release our frustrations. But when you really like think about how I just said that, it's like, hey, what you mean? That's a big yo. I'm not going nowhere with my homie to release some frustrations, bro. Like, nah, that does not sound like very masculine. To move forward as a man, what you do? Hey, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to work out. I'm going to go play some basketball. Get this sweat equity in. I'm going to put some work in. I'm going to go build something. We used to have men literally building engines when we was younger. We used to see those mechanics with the cigarette that never fall out of his mouth and he talking. You know what I'm saying? He's smoking a cigarette while changing the tire right in front of goddamn AutoZone. Fighter complex know about that. A lot of Dominicans change tires out there. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of men moved away how fighter complex right now, working inside a factory where you got to wear protective clothing. And he cranking things up. He moving things and things of that nature. It was never this, we got to go to a space to have a kind of like the barbershop was not that. The barbershop is where we talk about sports. And we argue about who's better, who's worse, who's the best boxer, who's the fastest runner. That's the main conversation. Yes. Every once in a while, it'd be some degenerate that come in there and you have a problem with his lady, but that's usually the same person that has a problem with his lady. They be like, bro, you didn't learn your lesson. No wonder why you always sleeping on the couch. We'll literally be clowning him. Tell him to get his ish together. And now all of a sudden they want a space where it's only men coddling other men. That shit ain't manly. That's not how men move. It's never been that way. Whenever you go into a team sport, whoever's the lowest level guy there, we build him up by breaking them down. You're a scrub. We literally, our own teammates, we talking itch about him until we play against the other team. The other team can't call him a scrub. But us, when we are in our own practice, we are challenge each other. You got to catch up because the only way we're going to win this chip if you get better. That's how we spoke. We didn't say, oh, man, you can't hit your free throws. I understand. No, we didn't talk that way. Get out there and practice your damn free throws, bro. And that's the touch grass. Go talk to the women. Go ahead and fail often. Go ahead, DeGale.
Yeah, so listening to you, I was going to ask you what changed. Would you say like social media or like what caused the change in this masculinity over time?
What I really believe is that it sounded for men that was trying to figure things out that never actually did anything. It sounded logical that they was going to a place to vent when that's not really how men actually move. We don't go to places to vent. If you need therapy, then you go ahead and you get you some damn therapy. But venting is not really it's not a real thing. Like we go ahead and we do things, we move, we get results, and the results is how we vent. Like, yes, I made it past this new level because I started reading this book, and so now I tried to implement it in my life. I tried real estate, and I sold my first house, or I bought my first house. I had my first kid. Hey, this is what the things in the barbershop we actually have frustration about raising children. And hey, I tried to do this with my son. He don't want to listen. That's the kind of frustrations we used to have. Not this damn I can't find a date frustration.
And right. So what happened is these weak men, they were experiencing failed outcomes in the dating market, right? So these guys were actually cornballs. They couldn't get women. They couldn't attract women. They couldn't keep women, right? And usually back in the day, those type of men, strong men would either take them up under their wing and show them how it's done, right? And if they still couldn't learn, then those men would be ostracized, right? Until you can figure it out. But what happened is the weak men era kind of took over, right? So it used to be a minority of those men who was experiencing failed outcomes in the relationship world. But now that number increased to the point to where they found a lot of like-minded failures, and they put together a platform called the Manosphere in order to trauma bond one with another. And then from that Manosphere, they created the red pill, they created the incels, and all of that other, degenerate nonsense that transpired from that failure, right? And what happened, what surprises me is the men who do not experience failure, right? The men who are able to obtain and maintain successful relationships, those men still are choosing to align with the men who are failures instead of telling those men what they need to do to step their game up so that they can find success, right? So it became like a weird paradigm to where a lot of the men who experience success would just gravitate towards the weaker men, and they would form like Voltron, and that's where the lovers of men came from, right? They opened up Pandora's box like Dwayne Wade, right? And decided, hey, listen, you know what? Maybe the grass is greener over here, so I'm gonna jump over here and I'm gonna align with him that's been a failure, and I'm gonna attack women. But oh yeah, I'm married too, and I got kids, but I'm attacking women on the internet. It's like some real weak, weird, queer type of stuff that's going on, man.
And look, and just think about it. They would say, hey, having a human experience. They would say things like having a experience means you're a cornball. Sometimes, yes. That's literally how we used to talk. You can't make a jump shot, you trash. You don't need to be shooting no more. Like, that's how men usually talk. like I don't understand where this idea that if you fall down, that we don't laugh at our man's falling down. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna pick you back up, but you can't stay on the ground, bro. And a lot of these men, they get into a situation where they just stay on the ground. Like, yeah, you could be corny at one point and then you could change. Like, it used to be men that was literally corny when they was in high school, and then they grew up and they understood the assignment in it. Now they have that glow up. They got filler. Their head don't look as big. They start wearing clothes that fit them, and they got this car. They talk a little bit better. All of a sudden, they not a cornball anymore. And that's all because he came up out of being called one. Literally. You get beat up in a fight, everybody say, you a punk, you can't fight. What do? You go learn how to fight.
So you saying that that's not happening no more? Is that what you're saying?
No, because the men, they want to say, don't call me a combo. Can you please just can you help me? Like, bro, that's not that shit really works. Go ahead, Chuku.
Thanks for having me up. You know what it is? Social media algorithms has, kind of trap people into their own private realities and polarize people toward the extreme. So now people who are not successful in relationships have a place to go to air their grievances. People who are not competitive in relationships can now blame the other sex for all their shortcomings. And you see this happening for both sides. It's not just a male thing. Women are doing the same thing. People who are not competitive, who are not selected to be mates, they have a lot of grievances. Maybe they've had a bad divorce. They've had relationships that didn't work out the way they wanted it to. And these algorithms pull these people into these, social media spaces where they can each, agree with each other that, yes, it's the other sex's fault that I'm not competitive. And I think that's just going to be a stable thing. People who are not competitive will it's easier to blame the other side than to do the hard work of looking in the mirror and seeing what can I do to change the situation.
Perfect. I'm glad that you said that. So let's just put it to where how men used to talk. We used to compare everything to sports. Bronny James, was he a failure when he got into the NBA by being the last actual pick? Is that a failure?
I don't know.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know.
LeBron James' son got picked 55th, and then when he got into the league, everybody said, "What about him? You only got there because of this. You trash, you garbage. You are not made to be a part of this league. You can't do it. You ain't as good as your daddy. You don't got the size. You don't got the jump shot. You can't shoot the three. You can't defend nobody. You're too small." Everything was what? Negative about Bronny James. And you know what he did? Instead of crying and saying, "I'm a cornball and I can't play basketball like my daddy," he went out there and said, "Hey, I'm going to go to the G League and get my reps up." So wound up eventually scoring 28 in the G League. And then he went to the goddamn, in a real NBA game. What did he did? He scored over 10 points, 17 one game, 21 game. That's how men build. We don't care about somebody else saying that you trash. He's still getting called trash today. And he's working his way through it. People talking shit to him in the stands. So what? You don't cower to that. You build yourself up. You get stronger. You go hit that gym. You start doing your damn push-ups. You talking about this is how men actually move. And then now
that's
the men
true.
that
But
don't
another
move
thing,
that way, we understand what they are. Go ahead, Chuka.
Another thing too, though, authority and responsibility are linked, right? So if you want authority, that comes with responsibility. Like my father always taught me that, to be a black man in this country is not going to be easy. You have to move a certain way. There's a lot of responsibility. Your errors are going to be looked at harshly. So you cannot be like your friends who are acting irresponsibly. You have to, make sure that you get good grades and you don't do anything that's going to leave you with a bad reputation. There's higher standards that we have to hold ourselves to. And I think that's one component that's missing. I think, like my parents taught me, you know, this is a racist country, and you have to work harder just to stay in the same place. And, you know, the reality was not as harsh as they described it, but I think believing that helped me to succeed. So I think we have to hold ourselves to higher standards. I think that's one way to get out of this situation. Go ahead.
So, my brother Chuku, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, my brother, first of all, peace and love to you, right? But I heard you say, well, yeah, you know, the men who are failures, they're complaining, but the women are complaining too, right? So let me ask you this: if you come home from work, right, and you get in the house and your wife is complaining about whatever she's complaining about, do you believe the equal and right response to her complaining is for you to start complaining?
No.
Right.
The right
So,
response is
so yeah. What? Go ahead. What's the right response?
Explore her concerns, normalize whatever situation that she's going through, and explain what could be done to change it. But this is a husband-wife relationship. This is not something that could be done for people who are not in a husband-wife relationship. One question I have.
Let's take it off of husband and wife, right?
Mm.
Let's just say you just met before you even got married. You just met this woman, right? You're interested in dating this woman, right? But she's going through something right now. She comes to you venting and complaining, right? Is the right and correct response to her complaining about whatever she got going on in her life is for you to start complaining about what you got going on in your life?
That question doesn't make a lot of sense. So why would I even? Okay, what's my relationship to this woman?
I just said, right? You're interested in dating this woman. You just met her. You found her attractive. You talked to her before. You found that y'all got some shared values. Your personalities match, etc., etc. You're interested in dating this woman, but you meet up with her on another day, and she's complaining about what she has going on in her life, right? Do you believe the correct response is to then start complaining? He must have jumped off, cuzzo. But
I think not. I mean, it's such an elementary question. Obviously, it's not. Like, you shouldn't complain back and forth with the woman. I think that his argument was that it's the people that are not willing to compete that are on both sides that are going to complain, that are crying, that are making excuses. So on the man's side, we got the dudes crying about the women. And on the women's side, we got the dudes crying about the men, right? I think that's a valid response. Like I've heard black women who like out of nowhere, like we just chilling, and they just start talking about black men, right? I brought this story up before. This Bohemian chick, first she was just trying to talk about us, right? Just talking shit about African Americans, and then I was like, "Yo, shorty, like keep it 100. You just got here like last week. How you talk? How you know so much about African Americans?" And then she changed it and started talking about her Bohemian men. Well, they ain't shit, and da da da. And then I'm looking at her face, and she wasn't an attractive woman. And then I started breaking it down, and then me and my homie started breaking it down, and then the women then started coming at her too, like kind of letting her know, like, yo, so you trying to tell me there's no attractive Bohemian men that got money in that whole uh country or whatever? And then she goes, yeah, of course. And I was like, okay, why couldn't you get those? She's like, oh, because those don't want me. I'm like, oh, well, there you go. You know, maybe you're just not competing for those type of men. Maybe you keep going down to the bottom and getting the bottom feeders and then coming to complain about the bottom feeders. I mean, we got a clear scenario that happened where a woman married a dude online that she know and everybody knew was I don't want to use that word because I use it too much. Yeah, right. Thank you. And she still married him, knowing that he was that, and then broke up with him, and then made like a whole story about, like used it to play victim. Oh, I was black men ain't shit, So it's like I completely agree with him, man. The men on one side.
Let me ask you.
Sorry.
And before you ask, Miss Jaden with the $5 for the collection plate. Get the lights up. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Jaden. I appreciate all the love and support. Thank you so much.
now, Lee, even with that
Yeah.
scenario that you just gave, right? You showed how a strong man handles complaints when women complain, right? And you're from New Jerusalem, right? So we know that woman
I like how you did that.
complaining is not a new thing. That woman complaining is not rare. That woman complaining and venting, being emotional about what they're going through isn't
Mm-hmm.
something that is nonsensical. It's something that's normal, right? And even
Mm-hmm.
back in the day where we from, isn't it true that men embraced Saul being a problem solver for those women?
Oh
That
yeah, give me your problems. Yeah, yeah.
right. So what I'm saying is in this era, men are running away from being a problem solver, and now the response that they're having is to complain just as much as the woman. That's my issue.
Right, right. And I counter that by saying that there's women doing that and us men still out here exist. I think that those men just have that pocket in the space, because obviously the truth is that the men who can't compete are the biggest tricks, right? So what that means is that those are the guys at the strip club throwing all their money. So what they're gonna do online, if you tell them exactly what they want to hear, just like the strippers do at the strip club, they're gonna throw all their money at you. So it makes sense that dudes like Fresh and Fit and all these different channels start to pop up and they cater to those guys because that's what's going to make money because guys are the tricks. Women don't trick like that. Women are smarter than that to sit there and just throw money at you just because you telling them what they want to hear. Or maybe it's, I won't say smarter, maybe it's that they used to being told what they want to hear, that they don't feel like it needs such a gratuitous response. But yeah, I agree with you. Like that subset of guys is growing, and it does like it is annoying. But at the end of the day, the guys that are willing to compete, because like just like what you just said, right? You spoke of me and you said that I gave the correct response. Yeah, because I've been out here competing. I've not been out here making excuses like or getting jaded. If I met a bad woman or if I met a black woman that was this, I wouldn't go, oh man, all black women is this. I never say shit like that. Like I don't all black women, I don't do that. But that's what people like the men who are not willing to compete and the women that are not willing to compete, they both do. They'll go, oh, black men this, and then the men will go black women that, and like they do the same shit. Like they both make the same points, but in all honesty, you could just tell that neither side is really trying to compete. Neither side is going out. Neither side is actively dating, like consistently. Not I dated and then I got into a date. This person broke my heart, or maybe spent a little money. Like let's leave it to the guys. Maybe spent a little money and now I'm jaded, and now I'm not going out, and now I'm trying to work on me. Like that's what I hear guys saying when I go into different
Shit.
like discords and shit. They be like, oh, I've been on one date and she didn't like the Cheesecake Factory, so you know what? I'm just not even going to date no more. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? It's beautiful women that you
Crazy.
run into every day, and you're a single man. But go ahead, Shemai, my bad.
Dollar Watts with the $2 for the panel. Do you love your sons? Yes or no? Absolutely. For me, yes. Anybody else want to answer?
I wish I had a son.
Mm.
I love my daughter.
Mm. All right. So we know Browns was going to say yes as well. So yeah. So I think just like how it was easy for me to debunk this whole idea that men getting pushed down is the reason why we should, like, Bronny James is a perfect example of that's how men are supposed to move. You're supposed to move through all those things. This is what makes you become great. LeBron James, before he came to the league, again, he was somebody that got beat up before he got to the league. They say this young kid ain't going to be the new face of no, all the things. He's still getting talked about to this day. And he's still proving every single day. That's how men are supposed to move. We're supposed to move through adversity, not cower to it. And for some reason, men find it okay to just cower and just sit down and cry and complain on the bench. This is crazy, Gail. I don't understand it.
What else could they do? Yo, you know what's crazy, bro? Is that us people that are able to compete, like we don't give our capabilities enough credit, man. Look who they got to compete with sometimes. Like I don't really get mad at them as much for complaining because their competition. I've always said this is stifling. You got niggas 6'6".
And so, like, that's
And
great. I'm glad that you said that.
right,
Lee,
yeah. Let's
right?
do it. Mhm.
Right, because that also goes into the conversation that me and Gail was having earlier. Right, you are still the 20% of some league. Right, so even if you on the bench, right, Stephon Marbury, he couldn't win the championship
Mhm.
in the NBA. He went to another league, and guess what happened?
He's looking.
He looked like Michael Jordan in that league. Dwight Howard right now, he a part of another league.
I translate that into a relationship. Are you saying date down? Are you telling them to date down?
What I'm saying is that they got to compete within a league, right? If you are going to be you got to either figure I'm going to be a bench player in the NBA or I'm going to be the MVP of the CBA. Which one do you want more? If I could be the MVP of the CBA, I'm going to go there because that's where I'm going to be the most successful at the situation at.
But that's where it gets dicey.
That's where it gets dicey because men do not want to make the decision to say, hey, I'm out of my league. They want to complain about, hey, I'm on the bench because of the system. The coach don't want to put me in. The coach don't want to make plays for me. I only got 10 minutes. He's 7 foot. I'm only 6'8". He's in the gym more than me. He got more sponsors than me. He able to do and the excuse for the bench play can go far. And it might be valid. But maybe you're just playing in the wrong league, bro.
So you mean currently out of your league, because you can step it up and then become in any league, right? You just saying you currently you playing above what you currently can do, maintain.
Correct. And see now Davey Richards, right? He want to be funny, say, "Oh, I'm promoting the divesting." No, I'm saying go to your league. That's what I'm saying. You need to play.
Wait. Let's get him to stand on that, though. Gracie, I need you to stand on that, brother. What do you mean by your league? Are you saying to date within your rate level, like within what you could obtain or what wants you? Yeah,
perfect. So because this whole argument started with me and Gail. We started the conversation about the 80-20 rule that the red pill is talking about, right? And what I was telling Gail that every man is a part of some woman's 20%. The problem is they trying to make it seem like all women have the same 20% idea. For Lee might even be for his woman the top 1% for what we know. But we can at least say the bare minimum, he is the top 20% for his woman. And for my woman, I'm the top 20% for her, and so on down the line. If I was single, I could go from New York, the money I'm making, the way how I move, the way how I think, I might not even be 20% in New York, for real. We got billionaires walking around in New York. But then you take me and I go to Ohio, guess what? I might be top 5%. So,
okay.
So to every woman, right, you could be her 20% and stop looking at every woman have this fake ass 20% that is LeBron James. Because that's not true. Because each woman have her own 20%. You just need to be the best version of yourself so you could be somebody's top 20%.
Oh, so you saying that they psyching themselves out before they even get in the game type shit?
Yeah.
And thinking they got to compete with LeBron James when they only got to compete with like Muggsy Bogues and some shit.
That's right.
Okay, that's good.
Like you can't compete with me. We don't see the same we don't see the same women. We're not in the same tax bracket. We don't drive the same car. We don't drink the same food. We don't eat the same food. I don't live where you live. Nigga, you're not in my bracket. I'm not in yours. Well, whoever's higher, that's up for debate. Regardless, what I eat don't make you piss.
Okay, so what about this? Though? I got something for you. Most men are attracted to the same women, though.
I ain't gonna lie, I be cooking. I ain't gonna lie.
You be cooking sometimes when Brownsville not around. So nah. Okay. So let me ask you this though. Most dudes are attracted to the same women. So to tell men to stay in they league is kind of telling them, bro, if you 5'5", don't be trying to go for a woman that's a 6 or a 7 or an 8, because those women, they able to get the guy that's a 6'1", that's 6'2", or they want the guy that's 6'1", 6'2", and got money. Or hey, if you only make 50,000, hey, stick around the McDonald's chicks, chill around the Wendy's and shit. Pick shorties up from there because that's more of your flavor. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of putting men in a box that I don't feel like we should do. You know what I'm saying? Because women don't be in that box, motherfuckers. Shorty be fat as hell. She
that's
want
when we
LeBron
go.
James.
So that's
So
when
we
we
got to
go.
figure that out. I don't know about that.
And that's when we go into the remology part, right? And that's when they be psyching themselves out. They literally go to this whole idea that because she works at Wendy's or Foot Locker, that she's some type of a person. Like just because she worked there, guess what? Kevin Hart worked in Foot Locker too. That don't mean he's a Foot Locker dude, right? Clearly, he's not a Foot Locker dude, right?
Wait, Sharon, don't do that. You get wait.
Yeah,
but no, I'm just trying to.
we going there. Just because
I'm trying to get you to stand on solid ground, Bracy.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay? What are you saying about drop their league? Then help me truly understand. What are you telling the man to do when you say stay in your league when it comes to women? That's what I'm trying to understand.
I'm telling men that they need to start peeling back that onion, take that mask off, and be 100% themselves. Because once
I'm about to give you an archetype because you about to do it again. She 5'4". No, all right, 5'4" is ridiculous.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna give you the height. We could go with the height. So the problem is that majority of men,
5'6", he make 50,000.
Right. So they
what's his league?
Right. And then so they will watch online, and then they will leave all the bullshit that this one woman said. This woman that he was never in her league. Say, I want him to be 6'8", 6 figures, 6-pack. That woman is never going to look at him. Her top 20% is LeBron James, and he is never going to meet that. And so he is looking into the wrong demographic. What he needs to be is that it is a college pro wrestler right now. He's 5'5". Guess how tall his woman is?
How tall is she?
6'3".
Get the fuck out of here. Look, how long you think that's gonna last? You think that's solid?
They've been together all college. She got injured. She holding him down, and he wrestling his way. And he went and hugged her, and she had to look down and hug him like he was like a little. And
Bruh,
she's not
come
kiss
on.
that man.
Right.
Kiss that man.
That's a
A liar ever heard one.
Kiss that man on the lips in front of everybody, said, and hold his head, and because he's real small, so she grabbed him by the head like this, like a little boy, said, "Mwah, I love you,
I can't
boy."
with Bracy. Gail, get this nigga.
That's an exception, though.
Yo, I'm listening. So are you saying that there are some women that some men can't attain no matter what they do, or are you saying if the man steps it up, he can get any woman he wants?
He could get any woman that is meant for him. And if he got to stop psyching himself out the game by putting that woman that he's seen online and putting her perception of what she wants on every woman that's walking down the street. You don't know this lady that you just talked to in the bar. She does that. She did not see that video of this woman saying, "I want a 6'6" this and 6 that." She is not that girl. Mm-hmm. Stop imagining that woman that you've seen online on your Instagram, and she said, "I want all these attributes that you don't have," and now you at the goddamn bar, and this woman looked at you, you looked at her, and you already saying, "Damn, I know all she wants is this thing that this lady on Instagram said," and they're not even related at all.
So I got another question. Would you say it's only men that put women on pedestals, or do you think there's women that put men on pedestals where they think they can't get a man, or do you think women think they can just get any man that they want?
I think men, especially in today's time, from what I'm hearing through conversation, men are putting women on higher pedestals, especially the woman that is at tremendous pedestals, right? Like they want to use women like from OnlyFans as their excuse. The top Instagram model is they reference. You know what I'm saying? Like that could never actually be real life. You talking about the top 1% in Instagram and using that top 1 to 10% of Instagram and OnlyFans as your litmus test as walking outside in the street with their average girl every day.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up social media earlier, because I think social media has presented us with a wide range of just what's out there when we couldn't used to see what's available, even like, even in our neighborhoods. You got Snapchat, you can see who's just, you have exposure to more. We have exposure to more, and that gives us a false idea of what's attainable or something like that. I don't know. I just think social media definitely has a big role into everything that's changed because we didn't have this connectivity like we did years ago.
So I think it gives them a false idea, right? Because they believe that they got more examples of human beings out there, but really what it is that they are just paying attention to the top 1 to 10% in those spaces. Whoever's on Snapchat, the top 10% of that Snapchat area. They don't got the top 10% of California if they're in New York. It's usually local. You on Hinge and all those things. You got the top 10% of that small platform. You go to a different platform, you're not even going to see that person ever again on the other platform. You know what I'm saying? So, and they warp their minds to believe that top 10% on Snapchat is what is walking around outside, and it's not.
Yeah, I agree. And then the filters, and then just all the fake. You know, you can't. It's not real. And then we see it all the time, though, and we assume, or a lot of people assume, you know, that it's out there, and it's really not. People get catfished every day.
It is not that girl that is on the train with you, bro. It is not. Like, they try to make it seem like it is. Look at all these women. Like, you don't realize that the algorithm say, oh, you like women that work out. And now your algorithm is going to be filled with the top 10% of women that work out on that platform. You're looking at the top 10% of those workout women. Not knowing that is another 90% that gets no views whatsoever. That's literally right across the street from you. That is a regular, everyday girl, walks down the street, get a coffee, humble, go home, go to work. She's not even at the club. And she's doing the same thing as the top 10%. But whatever reason, the algorithm decided to go with those females. And you judging the whole 100% on the top 10%.
Yeah. I mean, they show documentaries where these algorithms, they kind of curate what we want. They curate our, deepest desires, and then we kind of have a warped reality or a warped view of what's real. And that's why everybody's out here confused and complaining because they're not getting what they want. They're not seeing what they, it's. Yeah, I think
real life. And real life is right in front of them, literally. You know what I'm saying? It's literally in front of them, but they get so warped in this whole idea. Like, people like, sorry, but coach, he out there lying because he's trying to focus on the top 10% of a certain area and saying that is the totality of women. Like, no, you're talking about the top 10% of this type of woman and of this type of algorithm. It ain't where is the top 10% of the Michelle Obamas? You're not looking at that. Because I guarantee you start looking at sourdough bread making. All of a sudden, your algorithm will change. You see a bunch of women that's cooking every goddamn day, going through their trials and tribulations about their sourdough. But the next thing, once you go into that, also the algorithm is going to start pushing you into the top 10% of the sourdough makers, not the whole 100%. You go look into who's doing home cooking. First you're going to see a plethora of it, and then once you start liking and you start sharing, then they say, oh, this is the type of content he like, and they're going to try to pinpoint you in a certain box. And then you're going to believe that this is what all the sourdough makers look like. They all look like this archetype, whatever. And
yeah, that's why I'm real conscious about what I click like on. Like, obviously, I'll click like on your stream and stuff because I want to see more of it, but I know as soon as I click like, that's what they're going to keep feeding me. So I try to not to click like on everything. Even if I do like it, if I don't want to see it, try not to click it.
Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I think now, as of lately, more truthful things is coming out as we're starting to see, right? We're not just hearing the one side of this of the top 10% of women. This is what they all want. Because it ain't true. And then we'll get people that will hit the link that been married for 10 years and they the complete opposite of all the things that, Fresh and Fit, Greg, Tommy, Kevin Samuels, the list goes on. Saint in the Center, I'm starting to see him now because y'all told me to go check him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not true. What's up, Venus? It's like, where is all these? What? We see men on a day-to-day basis, 5'8", getting beautiful women. That is 5'3", 5'5", and they have no problems.
So Cuzzo, Gail, he asked an important question and I, it kind of provoked the thought, right?
Okay.
He said, so should men feel like, they should be entitled to all women, right? Or just the women who want them? And what we got to be telling men, and this is what I mean when I say it used to be a time where men used to pull the weaker men under their wing and kind of show them the way, right? Because we are living in an era where, for some strange, odd reason, men cannot handle rejection, right? And we know Cuzzo growing up, and Unlikely know this, and I'm even sure Gail and Silent also know this, right? At some point in time during your development, you're going to experience rejection, right? But your response to rejection should not be to complain, should not be to attack the woman and say, well, I didn't want you anyway, or you ugly anyway, and all these different kind of weak things, right? What we should be telling these men is that it's not masculine to complain. It's masculine to improve, right? Recalibrate and put yourself in a position to where you won't be experiencing that rejection for that same reason, right? That's the message that we should be promoting to men, right? Instead of coddling these men, right? And allowing them to, curate a space to where they can trauma bond one with another, right? And then all these weak men are getting together complaining about being rejected. And then the strong men are pandering to those weak men for profit. And we got to start calling that stuff out, man, because it ain't right. It's not helpful. And it's creating a level of toxicity to where, a lot of people are thinking the woman is the problem, but the woman ain't the problem. In reality, the problem is the men, because the women haven't changed, right? Gail, have you experienced in your life women complaining? Is that abnormal to you?
Complaining in what sense?
In any sense?
Yeah, women complain. I mean, I don't know what exactly you mean.
Right. But what I'm saying is, so if it's normal for women to complain, why are men complaining about them complaining? If the women are complaining, right, we need the men to find a resolution, right? Get them into a space to where they're feeling heard, to where they no longer have to complain because the strong men are solving these equations and problems. We
But
need
also sometimes,
the men
okay,
to
finish.
stop reducing themselves down to women. Peace and love.
And I was gonna add to that. What I was gonna add to it is some women just want to get it off their chest. They don't want you to fix it. They just want you to hear them out. They just want to release it. So that's another thing.
What? Say
'Cause
that again?
sometimes some women just want to release that. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to complain, get it off their chest, and they'd be okay. Because some women get offended if you try to fix the problem or say something. They just want you to listen. They want you to be a listening ear, pretty much.
Okay. And so, somebody said, why are you complaining about men complaining? Because it doesn't look manly.
Yeah,
Women
they
don't want
taught
to
us.
see it. Women do not want to see a bunch of feminized men in a circle having a conversation, crying to each other. It's depressing when women see a bunch of men acting like cowards. It doesn't feel good for a woman to see a bunch of downtrodden men hanging around each other. And then other men is in the chat talking to them as well. It's kind of like the Marvin Sapp. We got 1,000 men in here. All you 1,000 men, have you once felt down from a woman? And they like, yeah. And then we got 1,000 men that is online too. They watch it as well. We got 2,000. How about the men online? You 1,000 men, have you ever felt down because a woman pushed you there? And they're like, yeah. And then there's some woman watch. She's like, ain't this some bullshit? All these 2,000 men, and they looking at you men before you open up your mouth and started crying that you are a potential. And then you started talking and crying and complaining. And the more you spoke, the more you represented yourself less as a man. So that's why the women are telling you they don't want to see you complaining. And for some strange reason, men that are innate feminine do not understand that you can move out of femininity. You can move out of it. You can get in your masculine shit. You can start walking 15 minutes this way, 15 minutes that way. Start with 2 push-ups a day to get that estrogen away. Build up your mental. Read 10 pages a day. If you want to be an expert in your field, read about 15 minutes a day in your field. You'll become an expert in about a year, or at least far ahead of everybody else that's at your level. Like all these things you can actually do for yourself to make yourself better. You could be Bronny James. He's only 6'3". He ain't 6'8" like his daddy. He ain't 6'8" like 6'6" like the rest of the NBA. He's still doing better than 54 rookies that came before him this year. And he don't got their size and none of that. So stop putting yourself in this position where you keep looking at yourself as the loser. And then get mad when we telling you, hey, you know you can do better. No, I can't. Every time I say, hey, brother, you know you can do better. No, I can't. Why not? Because the women keep telling me. Yo, I promise you that's what they be doing. I was like, yo, bro, you got it. You can move on. No, I can't. I'm like, why not? Because I'm just too short. How tall are you? I'm only 5'10". Like, bro, you're not really short. But the woman said they want somebody 6'6". Mexican men get married all the time, sir. But I don't make enough money. You know you can get ahead and get a second job. But then what about my free time? Are you a man or what you want to do? They don't want to just do what they need to do and get themselves up out of the situation. They don't got to be down. Just because you open your door, somebody punched you in your face and you fell on the floor, yes, you could say that happened to you. And we could all look at you like, damn. But when we come back tomorrow, you should not still be on the floor. Get your ass up. Start moving forward. Stop being a coward. It's okay. You don't have to stay feminine your whole life. I don't care what hand you got. You can move forward. Gal, I see you got some thoughts.
Oh no, I was gonna say it's hard to argue that. I'm just listening to you cook. It's hard to argue what you think. It's hard to argue that right now.
So I think another problem that men are having too is when they see a female be a female, they have a problem with that, and that's very strange to me. They want women to respect a man for being in his nature, and then they get mad when a woman is in her nature. I think that's one of the weirdest things I see personally.
I think I agree, but I think there's also what's the word? Certain circumstances, perhaps, where men might get overly upset. Like maybe they're trying to have it both ways. I can't think of an example, but that's the only way I can see a man getting upset for a woman being in her femininity.
Like, like we got this person in the chat named Easy. He said, you're a feminine man talking about masculinity. Prove it. Prove it with your words. You can go ahead, run down your list of what masculinity is, and we'll see who have more masculine traits, me or you. Go ahead, Easy, let me make sure I drop the link, because we're not gonna allow you to just say things and not be able to prove anything you say. Let me drop the link again. Let me make sure the link is there. We put the link there, and you can come up with your own list. You come with your own list of what the masculine traits are, and we could go side by side with each other, and we see who have more of the traits. And then that's what we can make a decision about. Not just you saying you are feminine. Because that's what men actually do, right? They say, hey, I'm better than you at whatever this thing is. Then you're going to have to prove it. You say you're better at me in basketball, we're going to have to play one-on-one. You could throw further than me. We're going to both get this ball, an equal ball, and we both going to throw it. Oh, you run faster than me? All right, we're both going to start at the same line. We're going to run from this pole to that pole. We're going to see who get there first. That's how men move. And if you could prove it, hey, hit the link and prove it, and hey, you be the winner. But the problem is, a lot of these men are not actually willing to be moving in masculinity. They just want to throw shots, throw things against the wall, and not prove anything. And we know for a fact that ain't moving in your masculinity. Look how crazy that is. Like literally in real time. In real time. A man sending out challenges and shots is afraid to actually show that he's more masculine than the other man. That's wild.
So going back to your initial topic, the new topic you rose up, is there a specific thing that men are complaining about women being women? Or do you have like anything in mind?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I hear men say things like they talk too much. Well, we know that is a thing. They express themselves with, I believe, it's about 3 times as much words as normal men will. It's just a fact. Mm-hmm. Women use more words than men. So yes, they are going to talk more. You know what I'm saying? Like, just that simple thing there. Women are too emotional, and then soon as they blow up and start screaming or yelling, the first thing they say, why are you so emotional? I thought that's what they are. And like, that's what they say. I thought you said this. Even though we're going to just skip past the fact that when your team loses, and we all seen it, they break their TV when a football team loses.
That's because we got $1,000 on the parlay. That's why.
You know what I'm saying? But we ain't going. We're just allowed the rhetoric to go, right? We're not even going to point out on the other side. We're just going to focus on all the things that men are complaining about women. So they say they're emotional, but then they get mad when they're emotional. They say they too talkative, even though we already say women talk more than men. What else they say? Women are soft. They will also get mad at a woman for being soft. They say, hey, I don't understand why you cannot just handle it the way how I say it. Why you got to be so soft? Because it's weird. It's crazy. You literally complaining about a woman being a woman. Maybe.
So I'm just thinking. I like to think of counter examples and stuff. So I mean, just don't claim you a boss bee. Then if you're gonna be all that, then don't cry, right? Like that's why I'm just trying to figure out why men would be complaining. Like, don't claim you a boss bee, but you also crying and emotional and stuff. So that's all I can think of is why.
Would you say that Jeff Bezos as a boss is the same as the McDonald's owner as a boss?
I guess so. Yeah, if you're a boss,
You think they're the same type of they run their company the same. One just got one McDonald's and the other one, Jeff Bezos, he's running this $1 billion company. You say they're the same?
Similar. I mean, if you're a boss, you got similar aspects.
Absolutely not.
No,
absolutely not. Either one of us could become easily a owner of a McDonald's. Mm-hmm. None of us can easily be an owner of an Amazon type company. So just because she's a boss B doesn't mean she's Jeff Bezos. She's still a female boss. It is okay for her to have all of her she pump up her chest, her nipples get hard, all of that is all good because she is a boss B, whatever that is. Fine, ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't need to humble my woman because she feel like she's a boss. You go ahead and you boss whoever you need to boss around. Whoever you paying from your company, hey, let that be. It doesn't mean that she don't need nobody because bosses still need workers. And if she's a boss, shout out to all the boss women, wife, and niggas. Because it's men out there that need it too. Hey, here's what it is. And the problem is that men just want to just deal with what is actually happening. I don't know who that is, Matters and Dialogues. I'm not sure who that is. And so, you know, and it's just what it is, right? And if men would just be honest about what's happening, and this is why it's easy for me to answer these questions, Gail, because I just deal with what is. Like, you know, for example, if I was with Beyonce and I had to get ahead and deal with whatever she needed to do to keep Beyonce moving forward, I'm going to do that because that makes the most sense. Why would I try to compete with that? It's dumb. Jay-Z smart. Why are you trying to compete with her? It's much easier the other way around. You ain't going to play Mufasa, but she's going to be Nyla. Not only Nyla, but also Akira. You got your daughter to play Akira in the, you know what I'm saying? Like you got your wife and your daughter in a Disney Lion King movie. Because you said, hey, you recognize what's actually happening. Instead of trying to say, no, you need to sit down and shut up, cook, clean. Beyonce says she can't cook. The hell you gonna make that woman cook for? That ain't her skill set. If I found the woman that couldn't cook or clean, hey, babe, you need to figure out a way to get somebody to cook and clean. Well, if it's Pablo or Maria, Venus, it don't matter which one it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we know most of the chefs that are traveling chefs, they are males anyway. They be out there serving up people. Be a bunch of males and they go inside somebody's house and serving it up. Maybe they moving in their femininity. I don't know. So Venus, it doesn't matter if it's Pablo or Maria, either one. One could cook, one could clean, or whichever you want. All's I know. All's I know in the Fresh Prince, they had a male butler that cooked and cleaned.
Shout out Jeffrey.
So you can have Voice of Venus, you can have you either Jeffrey or a Maria. I think you may disagree with her a lot, but a lot of men don't. Okay, I'll check out. I'll check and see what she out here lying to the goddamn folks. She probably look good and has some big titties or something like that, I guess. You know who this Danica Marie?
No.
Yeah, I've heard of her. She kind of panders to the guys, so you might not agree with her. She kind of like, yeah.
Nah, I figured as much. It's always a young version of Felicia Rashad out there. That's gonna say one thing, but when she living in her real life, she doing everything that all these men cry and complain about. Looking good, getting money off him. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's so hard. It's so difficult to be in the lane that I am in, telling the truth. People are afraid to support the truth. I'll tell you. If I was out here pandering, all I gotta do is play to people's emotions. Whatever emotion that is. Oh, you feeling sad because of divorce? And I just say, oh, all these women, they do this to us, men. They make us make it. They be like, yes, yeah, take my money. Ah, you hit home right there. I ain't see my kid. They start crying. They all put their shoulder, they put their head right on my shoulder, Gail. So as I tell, like, hey, I don't care how salty your damn tears are, keep your head up. That's what they scared of. It's crazy.
Yeah, people don't like accountability. They don't want to hear the real when it pertains to them.
You know, so like, and I get it because it is a hustle. And shout out to the people that can hustle people like that. I'm not really that person that could just lie to people for status and money. It's just not a part of me. I just can't do it. It's just not. I'm just not. I work too hard to be myself, to be something that I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so wild to me. Lay your head on my pillow. That's what they be saying. And this and we can clearly see that that even though they would claim that they disagree with me, right? And every day I open up the panel, let them have their argument. Go ahead. Let me see your disagreement, substantiate your disagreement. When they come up, they actually agree with me. Literally. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I think people hear one thing and they kind of see it a certain way, and then when you kind of get up here and hash it out, then it's like you kind of like start to in real time shift the way you see it, because it's one thing listening to somebody talking, and when you actually having a conversation, kind of get to better talk about it and understand it more.
Right, and this is why I was, and this is the main reason why I wanted to have the show about perspectives. A lot of people are not actually challenging my words; they challenging a perspective that they have.
Yeah,
and this is why a lot of times it turns into just arguments because nobody's actually hearing each other, and they swear the other person's not hearing. Literally, you could repeat verbatim what they say, but because you don't agree, they feel like you don't hear them. No, I heard you. I just disagree. Let me tell you why I disagree. The problem is, like, when we try to switch it, a lot of times the other person can't really explain why they disagree. They just say it's because you're a simp. He's like, all right, fine. I'm a simp. Fine. So now, what part of my argument that you disagree with?
Mm-hmm.
That's when it all falls apart for them.
Yeah,
because they can't disagree. So even we got Kills here. He just said it, right? He said the brothers in his space doesn't agree with you, Sharon. However, that's fine, but then show me the argument that they disagree with. They don't have one. For real. They just want to disagree with me because I don't look like a typical the toxic masculinity male with a fitted hat, a hoodie, a silver chain, a big watch, some sunglasses while I'm inside the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we see the archetype for a lot of these guys. Like, a lot of them have the same outfit. It's like it's a whole black MAGA red pill outfit that they have.
Yeah. A lot of copycats, a lot of it's an image, it's that underground hardcore, trying to portray an image.
You know what I'm saying? And these are the same men that have been far removed from anything that they had to deal with in in that type of situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the weirdest part about it, like, majority of people that actually have to live in that environment that they are perpetrating, you can't even wear a hoodie. A hoodie is a dangerous thing for you. That's the first thing I would do, is pull a hoodie over your head and start swailing. It's worse than, you know what I'm saying? Another thing, hair, right? There's another thing. There's a reason why, like, when you're a fighter, they tell you, hey, you better cut that because you might swing, you whip it, your hair gonna whip you.
I don't know nothing about that.
Right, because you're not in that lifestyle, right? So it's okay to have long hair, don't care, because you are far removed from that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't gotta worry about that. You can wear a hoodie because ain't nobody trying to run up behind you and pull your hood over your head and punch you in the face. But these men will actually act as if they steal from that.
Yeah, it's a character. A lot of people just acting on YouTube. I mean, more power to them. But as long as you're not being fake, but a lot of people are being fake.
Yes. They want to act tough, and this is the reason why we starting to see them crash out. They pulling literally guns out on YouTube and threatening people from across the internet. They're like, "Hey, listen, I'll pull this trigger. It's gonna go inside my camera through the internet cables and catch you on some," because they really believe they Neo. They believe they can actually just go. Like, nigga, you ain't Neo or Morpheus. What's wrong with y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, you are not that. It's starting to fall apart slowly but surely, though.
Yeah.
Every single day is falling apart. They cannot maintain the lies anymore. And some of the men they starting to realize they just want to support the person because they feel sad for them, but they don't really actually believe none of the stuff they say anymore. They're just there supporting them because, hey, I was rocking with you for 10 years and now they don't know what to do. But they don't believe that no more.
You talking about the Manosphere specifically?
Yeah. Like the Manosphere supporters, that a lot of them like kills, right? He's just going over there to support those Manosphere men just to support it, just so he can argue with some girl in the chat because he don't get a chance to talk to a female in real life.
Yeah, it is falling apart. I think it did have its height, and it wasn't always as toxic. It was just more about awareness. Like a lot of men, like you said, put females on pedestals, and the reason they flocked to the Manosphere is because they were getting burned. Like, oh, I thought women were sugar and spice and everything nice. This ain't the case. So a lot of men were kind of waking up to that fact, but then it became kind of toxic and bitter. Oh, at some point, it wasn't always like that though. But all things kind of get toxic over a certain period of time.
Absolutely. Like I literally broke down the video with the audience and how we cooked up BGS literally. Like he was just saying lies. He just literally said, "Hey, as long as I gotta fight against the white man, I don't want to have no fight. That is a defeated man." I don't know where you think that BGS is some kind of upstanding man that is good for any black young man when he said that. After that, you disqualified. I broke it down word for word. But so this is what I'm talking about. Even though Naras and Dalos do not believe the things that BGS says, but because he has some kind of fake status of being a great black man in YouTube, he's going to let that man say, "Black men, we cannot fight against other men because we will lose." And I don't think Naras and Dalos believes that as a black man, that he's just willing to just, cower to any other man because you black. But here, let this man say whatever because he's some kind of a legend. This is what I'm talking about. So they will go ahead and still support somebody that's literally downing a black man, downing the youthful black men. Why would you support somebody that continues to say things that is going to be disrespectful to you as a man? There's something wrong there. I don't know what that is. And literally, when I disprove this shit in real time, they still don't want, but he's a legend. Fuck that. I would dunk on your legend, bro. I will crossover slam dunk on your legend. And you still gonna say, well, it's because he old. All right, fine. I can't win no battle with you then. You just don't want to be honest about it. You just want to coddle even somebody that is 100% wrong. He said the only way black men can actually start moving as leaders is when women decide for him. That's crazy. He said women got to decide to either lead or get out the way, and that's the only way black men can actually lead. That's what he said.
I remember that.
And this is crazy that you still want to say that you want to say BGS substantiated something. Some of these men are just weak-minded. And it's scary and sad sometimes when you hear that the weakness just fly out of them because of some so-called legend of a space. If the women get out the way or lead me, that's the only way I could be a leader. That shit sounds crazy to me, Gail.
When you put it that way.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine LeBron saying the only way I could be the greatest of all time if somebody does not. You either gotta leave the league or let me. What?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant is not gonna let you just be the greatest of all time. You have to prove it. Steph Curry ain't gonna just let you be the greatest of all. No, you gotta prove it.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to put it in terms where people can understand. I mean, even though what the first way is pretty blatantly goofy, but you know, you got to put it in so people can understand it, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay."
I hope so. I hope men would start to really like understand that, and we could start just moving in masculinity for real, and deal what's in front of us at the time. Because that's the only way we're gonna really get men on board of just moving better. Because it's always going to be a progression. There's no, I think a lot of men, they think that it's some thing that they got to get to. I reached this $100,000 and hey, I'm here. Where's my women? It don't work that way. I read all the books. I'm here. No, it don't work that way. You still got to go ahead. After you learn it, you still got to implement it in real life. Just because you learn how to shoot a jump shot doesn't mean you could go to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
You still got to play in the goddamn game after you learn all those skills. And you know, but you know, at the same time, a lot of men they don't even know how to have a conversation. Is another problem that a lot of men have. They don't know how to move conversations forward. And this is why they talk about a lot of times when you hear them talk, right? You hear them just talk about everything at once. It's like, bro, what do a Honda got to do with a Mercedes? Why are you talking about how Honda? We talking about this Mercedes Benz. But you know, the way how Honda got here, all right, that's fine. That is a very true statement. I'm glad that Honda got here that way. But right now, I'm talking about this E550 that I want. Don't tell me that a Honda is cheaper. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I'm not in the market for that Honda.
I think people be trying to make connections, but kind of don't know how to do it.
And also, a lot of times they think that making these weird connections makes them look smart, and it don't. Like, I don't know people that make these weird connections and come around. They start here and then they go in the circle. There's only one gender that speaks like that. Robin M, no, I did not see that at all. Is it something that I should review? But yeah, so no, usually men speak in a straight line. We have brevity, we speak less, we use less words. For some reason, they think speaking more in circles makes sense. Like, literally, I'll ask my wife, hey, what coffee did you get? She'll tell me about what the lady was wearing in front of her. How many hours it took, the weather, the stoplight, police drove by. It was a fire truck too. Seen this lady running some new sneakers. 10 minutes go by, I still don't know what kind of coffee she got.
See, I made the mistake of saying that to mine. I said, I ain't ask you all that. And then she said, I'm just trying to have a conversation. I said, I ain't ask you. I literally did not. But she, you know, I can't talk to you. So I don't know.
Right. And that's what we gotta realize. Hey, we cannot be mad for a woman for being a woman. That's how they communicate. Mm-hmm. Right. And we gotta let her go around her whole circle to get back to what we as original Tunta, and it should be quiet. Just let her say what she gotta say. You don't really got nothing to say to her anyway. Mm-hmm. Hey, how was your day? And she keep going. Why you cut her off? Let her talk. You don't got shit to say anyway. Once she finished, you ain't got shit to say. You go like, yeah, that sounds like a good full day.
That's true. That's what that patience comes in.
So, like, you know, like, what's the point of cutting her off if you don't got really nothing to say anyway?
Just lack of patience. That's all.
Right. That's all it is. That's all it is. And it don't got nothing to do with that. It don't got nothing with her being stupid, dumb, talk. It's just you don't have no patience. And now that your own woman that you lay down with, that you eat food with, she loves you, she'll probably go ahead. You get beat up in a fight, she'll bite the person on the neck for you, and you over here telling her to shut up. That's crazy.
When you put it that way.
Yeah, right. When you put it down, he's like, damn, I do need to have a little more patience for my baby. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
in the moment, though, he's just like, can you hurry up?
But that's because that we was taught that, right? Like, and that's the reason why I can recognize it, right? Because I know we was taught that women should not be, they should be just seen and not heard. It's supposed to just look cute, sit there, arms folded, back never touch a chair. Their feet supposed to be small. They, you know, like, oh, it's not real life. It's not even close to real life. Majority of our mothers spoke a lot and our fathers didn't speak that much because that's how it's supposed to be. Men have brevity. When a man speaks, you hear that bass. That's why the kid's like, oh. It's a reason, because we speak less and we speak with attention. So when we time for us to talk, that's when everybody listens and shut the F up. Not just talking. We ain't supposed to be talking that much. Right? You know, like, it's just so simple when you grow up and you think like, damn, exactly. The lion don't just go outside and roar all day. He see something happening, then he run. Then everybody like, oh shit.
Yeah, it becomes less effective the more you do it because you're so used to hearing it. So you keep experimenting. It's powerful when you actually do got something to say.
Right. And people get what you're trying to say instead of just communicating. A lot of times, women just talking because they have a lot on their mind. There's a lot of things going on, and majority of the time, especially if you have a family, they are talking to little children. They don't get to have adult conversations. You know how difficult it is for me to have an adult conversation with my wife? Every time me and my wife start talking, I mean, it could be completely silence in the house for 20 minutes. As soon as me say, hey, babe, the kid, oh, I know what we could. Why? I don't know. That's just how it is. The kids want to talk when you want to talk. You know what I mean? So she don't get a chance to talk to you that often. Or if you don't have children, she's at work the same amount of time as you at work. She's holding all of those thoughts in. She gotta let it out somewhere. You don't really care. Like, even when we at work, we can do the same bullshit every day, not even thinking about it. How was your day? I was at work. Yeah, it don't matter if they went good or bad. Yep. My chick is there. A woman like, well, let me tell you what happened with Sheila. Let me tell you about the traffic jam that I had about this stupid red Honda Accord that was driving with these stupid tires. That, it would just go and you're like, I still didn't know what happened in traffic. You just told me about what the car looked like. But that is a normal thing for women to do. And we cannot penalize our woman for being normal women. I don't even know what take we talking about, Venus. What show we talking about that they want to? I don't even know what part of the show we want to watch. Why we want to watch it? Tell me what happened on this show that we're supposed to be reviewing. I don't know. Is it worth reviewing? I ain't see it. I don't know what they was talking about. I don't know what they was talking about. I'm not sure. But hopefully we can get to 10,000 subs really soon. I think we are moving in the right direction. And, I think as we keep moving forward, and now that like a lot of the people that was hate watching is not participating, I think that's a good thing, because I think it's going to be a change and a shift. And then I think I'm going to get the actual people that really rock with me for real, and not just watching to argue with me. Like, it's going to be people that really just disagree and they just want to have a discussion. That's fine. If you just have a natural disagreement, then we can have it. But I think all of the fake disagreeers, I think they're starting to leave. And now we're starting to have the real genuine people. And then now the genuine people just trying to figure out if they should be hitting the like button, the share button, and send 99 cents and all those things. I think it's an interesting time in content creating, period, because a lot of people got to go back to work. So a lot of people not able to watch from the computer and do their job as well. You know what I'm saying? And also, I think a lot of people are just still moving in a strange position at this time of the year.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm enjoying it. But let me see. And that's probably why me personally, I haven't been seeing too many new shows talking about things that much. For real. They said make a Patreon. I mean, I couldn't make a Patreon, but shit. Let me see you just hit. I don't need one for real. All you gotta do is become a member. We can start doing membership shit. To be honest. But I gotta start creating some membership only channels, shows. It's not easy to come up with different contents and concepts every goddamn day. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. You ever see yourself just making videos, or you just a live streamer who want to have conversations?
Yeah, I really enjoy having the conversation, but yeah, maybe that's probably the shift that I gotta start focusing on as well.
Yeah, maybe think of a topic and just make like maybe a 15 or 10-minute video just to put out there for people to consume, and then keep doing your live streams and just, you know.
Mm-hmm. And then but Robin M, every time I try to go to other goddamn platforms, that's when I get beat up and set up and jumped. God damn it. That's when I be getting beat up, Robin. I'm traumatized. I don't want to come back over here crying and I'll be licking my wounds and I'm like, well, you shouldn't have took your stupid ass over there. Shout out to Bridget M. Thank you so much, Bridget M, with the $3 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Robin said you got to stop promoting like on TikTok. TikTok might be gone in the next 3 days because he got to make the decision. I believe April 5th is because I think that's when the extension is over for TikTok. So anybody that's using CapCut and TikTok for any of this stuff, we're gonna see what that decision. Oh, okay. All right. What's RBG? RBG, red, black, and the green. All right, so let me see. They want me to check out this stream last night. Should we check it out?
Trying to get you in some mess. They're gonna clip you and send it to the person.
They try to get me in some mess, right? We've been doing good. We've been having our own original conversations. We have not been dealing with the mess. What's Reg bad guy?
She's talking about that dude.
Guy? Oh.
I don't know.
Well, that's one of the Big J enemies. I know that.
Who's that?
I don't know him. I haven't saw him. I heard Big J talking about before.
Okay.
His name Red's the bad guy. So you know
that's what I think has been happening lately, though. To be honest, I think I'm starting to crack through a lot of different things, and I'm starting to get a lot of different people to check me out, and people like, what is this? What is this strange black man on a YouTube? They don't really know what to tell. You know what I'm saying? Different political views that is not normal for most of the people as well. I think going with the MAGA side of things is easy to build that kind of content as well. People just love that, especially when a black man is talking like a white man. They love that shit. Whenever I see black men talk like white men, man, it be lit. Check out which video, Pumps in the Dump.
Pumps in the Dump. What?
That's her name. Hey, you know we like those girls with the pumps in the bump.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go find this video that they talking about. So
channel showing it. Sure.
Hey. What you talking about, Solid? What you trying to see, Solid?
I'm just saying, she's talking about some pumps in the dump. She got to show channel showing it. You can't just have that name and just be talking.
Oh,
and she should play that song, that MC Hammer song, and be walking in them hills.
But also, I think people just really like conflict, and they like to hear people talk negative. I swear, I think it's something about like I gotta break out of the space where people just want to have genuine conversations rather than disrespectful conversations. What's the name of the show, Robin M? What was the name of the show that you want me to review? Robin and because like I guarantee, like when I don't know, I'm just not into just always talking down about people that look like me. You know what I'm saying? I just can't really, because I don't believe that shit that we are all just horrible black people. You know what I'm saying? Last night, okay, what show? What's the name of the show that he did last night? I see it. If it ain't tricking, if you got it, what's the name of the show? Lee. What's the name of the show from last night? Let me see. Let me just go to his channel. Oh, okay, I see it. Just 11 hours ago. Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens there. You know, like it'd be so many things about they be saying, like, you know, our ancestors and black women don't like black men and they mean, and I'll be like, man, what y'all talking about? Nothing. Let me see. Okay, we here. Let me turn the thing. So, what part of the show we going to? Let me see.
Look like free one.
I'm plenty of that. Yo, don't start talking.
This nigga's scared. This nigga's scared. This nigga's scared.
Yeah, we all know I'm taller than you.
Damn,
I tower over you. First of all.
So, what part of the conversation you want to talk about, Robin?
You only like 5'6".
Damn.
Oh, your daddy 5'6".
He's 6'5" actually, so that's backwards.
Man, he knocked me. Callie, what up? Hold on.
What's up, Hamp? What's up, ladies?
What you mean, what's up? What that mean?
It means what's up, what I said.
All the ladies are
What does that
looking
mean, though?
awesome. I
means
said
hi.
that.
Oh,
Callie
why didn't you
looking
say
good. Light
'Cause I
skin
wanted
May
to say
looking
what's up.
lovely.
Why is everybody from California in the
Stay
game?
looking good.
That doesn't have anything to do with gang. It's literally just a side of the country.
Did you
on the
throw up a
west.
sign?
I threw up West Side.
Have you ever said West Coast is the best?
So,
Absolutely.
what part of this I
You
supposed
in
to
the
be
game.
watching? let's fast forward. I don't know what we're supposed to be watching.
Fool
Let
us.
them talk. It's the name of the show.
Man, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Let me see you in the chat real quick.
Okay. Let me go for it.
But you know, it's all for good and positive shit. Feel me?
Let's see what the
ladies
woman's
been
point of view. That's what
wilding.
we're talking about. I don't know.
As y'all seen, if y'all been here the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes, please please give me a time stamp because I have no idea what
We
we
had
are
a clip.
reviewing, why we reviewing it. I know y'all want me to review it, but tell me why. Goddamn, tell me why. Tell me why we should be reviewing it. What part of it that we should be reviewing? That's the people's. Shout out to DJ Hamp. He's doing his damn thing over there. His numbers is continuously growing. I think he hit 30,000 or something of that nature. That is awesome. Shout out to that young black man. Also, him being 5'6" is what she said. Him being 5'6" and still married with a bunch of children. Again, it goes to show. And I believe also his wife have a PhD. Educated woman, beautiful, in shape, black woman. All the all the stereotypes, he wound up somehow, some way. That's the shit I be talking about, Gail. You know what I'm saying? Somehow, some way, he figured out a way to be at 5'6" is what she said. Not in the best shape of his life. He you know, he got kind of a thick neck, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? But somehow, some way, he's able to find a woman that has a PhD to be rocking with him and making sure she's holding him down or he's holding her, however it goes.
Yeah, he just got lucky. That's all. He just got lucky.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what they would say. He just got lucky. This is the shit I be talking about. Try the 2-hour mark. Okay, let's see. Let's go to the 2-hour mark, see what they're saying. Damn. All right. 2 hours. Let's see. Okay, let's check it out. This might be risky. We're gonna check it out. They said, Sharon, check out the 2 hour mark. Robin M says, check it out. Let's see what are they talking about. This might be risky. Shout out to them.
This thing I got for y'all. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Absolutely,
hit that like
do
button
that
right now if you can. That helps the channel.
Let me see. Did we get to 100 likes today? At least, yeah. Got to 100 likes.
It's way top tier. Your dick is not equal to my fucking pussy. Point
Whoa.
blank.
His
Period.
dick ain't equal to your fucking bills neither.
God damn. Look, at the end of the day, I ain't
Them
fucking
bills
no
got your
broke ass
them
nigga.
bills got your name on it. They don't have his dick name on it.
Damn.
At the end of the day, I ain't fucking no broke ass nigga. Do what you want with your pussy.
Yeah, you
but
don't
this
have to
pussy
fuck
got
no
a price
broke
tag
ass
on
nigga.
it. Straight
You
up.
look, no, You can fuck a nigga that ain't broke. That's not a problem. But just because he ain't paying your bills, don't mean he fucking broke. That mean it ain't his goddamn responsibility. Your bills got your name on it. It don't have his dick name on it.
Okay, you're right. I land my plane. This pussy got a price tag on it. Just
Wait,
so everybody
wait,
know.
Kelly,
Sound like a toot. Your pussy got a price tag on it. Sound like a goddamn toot.
And it's high. So if you're in the tax bracket, then it's okay. It don't matter. Shit. It is
So,
what
hold on. So
Pussy
on
for
the
the
other
hottest bitter. That's what it sound like.
Kelly, on the other side, if he offered, he ain't living there. But you know, y'all doing y'all thing. You know, he appreciate it. He appreciate the good stuff that you got over there.
Y'all
He just
have really
"Baby,
disturbed the good
let me-"
brother Hampton. Hampton is over there disturbed. Look at him.
Look, Kelly, so
Look,
he
the
pays
two
the
sexy
bill
motherfuckers is over here going back and forth.
if he pays the bill voluntarily, then what you gonna be like? Oh, well, these are my bills. Don't be paying no bill.
You goddamn right.
My shit is way top tier. Your dick is not equal to my fucking pussy. Point blank.
His dick ain't equal to your fucking bills.
Okay, it sounds like it's about to go back on reverse. I don't know what to think about that. If he, I don't know what to think about that. What's your thoughts? You heard it. What's your thought?
Talking about me?
Yeah.
It sounds like she just got a standard, and if somebody's willing to meet that standard, then that's on him. But I would ask, what is she bringing to the table? Do they have a kid together? I mean, some men just pay all the bills automatically, but I mean, what is she bringing to the? Is she just sitting there eating up all the resources? Like, what is she doing that deserves her bills to be paid as well? I don't know what kind of bill she has. Like, she's talking about student loans or a cell phone bill. Like, what is she talking about?
Let's start with the beginning part. Have you ever asked any of the girlfriends that you said you have a relationship now, correct?
Wife, yeah.
Oh, you married? How long?
3 years now.
Okay, that's awesome. So that's good.
Been together 10 years though, 10 plus years.
Yeah, been together for 10. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
You made that woman wait how long?
I mean, I like to make sure it's right. That's just me.
I ain't mad at you, bro. I just got married after 5.
I'm mad at him, goddammit. But hey, regardless that we moving forward. So I am somebody that says we got to move forward. He did eventually break out of his scareddom. So he's with her for 10, married for 3. Did you ever ask her what she bring to the table?
No, I just see it. I mean, no. I never asked her straight up, like, what do you bring? Because I know what she bring to the table, or my table.
Right, so now my question to you is this: what is it that she brings to the table? And if you had enough money to pay all the bills, will you pay all the bills? Number one, and number two, what is that she bring to the table to pay all the bills?
You saying if I had all the money to cover hers and mine? Yeah. I most likely would. I was just listening from the outside in on that. I was trying to just.
That's fine. So if you had enough money to cover all of your bills and expenses and her hair and all the things that's like right, you had enough, you would do it. Now, what is it that she brings to the table that makes you want to cover all of the bills?
Just the loyalty, the companionship, the friendship. Yeah, she cooks when I need her to. Just doing all the things that I don't do that she complimentary. So I see that she's making this thing work with me. So I'm willing to pay on the financial side. I dropped the mic. I made Sharon get up. Get up from his seat. He had to walk it off. You on mute if you talking to us. You on mute, Sharon.
Hey, so you mean to tell me you can't find? So how many women in the chat you think could do those things?
Pretty much any woman.
So why do men, if the list is mainly short, probably for majority of men, they would say a list like that is a good start. And then, we have nuances, of course, right? But that's a good foundational list, right? Because it's not easy to name everything off the fly. Why do men even bring up what she brings to the table if usually the list is kind of short for what men is actually that is on the forefront of a man's thought, right? Because once you get into like who she is and she's funny and this, that, the list gets really big. But that was just a nice, good general list. When the list is not really that intensive, why do men even ask what she brings to the table?
That's a good question. That's the first thing I thought of. She just sounded entitled. So it was a sense of entitlement that came with, but again, like I said, she just had a standard, and if somebody's willing to meet that standard, then I guess more power to them. But yeah, it just seemed like she felt like she deserved the money, as opposed to, I don't know the situation as well, so I don't know.
Right, and so majority of men feel entitled to his girlfriend's vagina, so why she should feel entitled to you paying the bill?
I mean, but she also getting the other thing too, though. So that's a even exchange right there. So
what's the even exchange?
You said we feel entitled to their vagina. Well, it goes both ways.
But in reality, it does. A majority of women are not experiencing the same experience that men do.
Yeah.
So therefore, we cannot say and this is the remedial error that we got to break men out of, because they actually believe that is a fair exchange when it comes to that, and it is not. Especially if she's working and you working. So she's just as tired as you, mentally tired as you, because really that's what it's really about for the woman. If her mental is good, then she's gonna be busting nuts like a goddamn AK-47. But if her mental ain't, then you getting yours off regardless. No matter what, whether you are 2 minutes or 10 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever it is, you're going to get yours regardless. She not. So we got to get men to start saying, it's a fair exchange. No, it wasn't. Where?
So from what you heard, there was nothing wrong that she said. She was just what was she, from what you heard?
No, I don't see nothing wrong with neither one of them. If Callie believes that he don't have to pay, I can understand that. Let me get a couple. I can understand that. I was going to use that. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so I get that. But she also has sons, so I can understand it a little bit more. So, those goddamn mothers that have goddamn sons, they don't want their son paying for nothing, but they want their husband to pay for everything. So that's another problem as well. But majority of men and women, men feel good when they could pay majority of the bills or all of them. That's how men just feel better as utilities. It's just what it is. I don't know why we try to go against that nature that men have, but men have a certain nature to be able to take care of as many things that they possibly can. It makes a man feel better when he's out there achieving. It's just what it is. And for some strange reason, this day and age, we act like that is a bad thing. You call that simping now.
Let's assume that she was including her student loans. Would you agree that a man paying off her student loans too?
Yeah, I don't see. It don't make me no difference. It don't make me no never mind whatever it is. Phone bill, credit card, car, student loan. It don't matter. It all benefits me anyway.
That's true. I mean, that's assuming you got it like that, right? What if a man is like, average man, working and ain't got it like that, but I guess it's something you just have to talk about within your relationship.
Absolutely. And the problem is that I think majority of the talking points, right? They want to have a conversation about how much is the box worth from a sex worker, like that compares to your wife. The value that a sex worker have doesn't have anything to do with your wife. And majority of men that do pay for sex work, they're not even really thoroughly really like it. That's why they got to keep going back. They don't like it. They want a woman that is theirs. They don't want to have to keep paying a woman $40, $50, or somebody said $100. Who wants to? Who really wants that?
I mean, some men might argue they're paying to avoid all the extraness. So they just want one thing and they pay for it and they get it and then they move on to the next. Some people move that way.
Yeah, but majority of men are not.
Yeah, that's true.
Majority of men are complaining that they got to pay.
Yeah.
That's what the whole argument for. They mad that they keep finding goddamn Felicia Rashad's that just want him for his status and his money. Until she's on his side, and then all of a sudden it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the market is heading. It seems like a lot of women are becoming monetized, and if the price ain't right, then that's why the men are gonna start complaining because they're not stepping up their money, so they can't afford to keep a woman or get whatever they want.
Exactly, and majority of the men, and I'll say the ones that are paying, right, whether that's 10% of men in the world or whatever that is, I would say the majority of those men are probably the corny men that can't get it on their own. They have some kind of issue. The majority of them. Is it a few men that just want to pay to get it out the way, like how you said? Yes, but I think that's the minority of men. You know what I'm saying? I think it is like some wealthy dude. He go into a strip club. He see her. Hey, I want to pop you off. I pay for that, and they keep it moving. But majority of men are not moving like that. Majority of men are going to a strip club because they can't get it elsewhere, and they actually want to show off in front of other men. That's the crazy part. Silent. When you go to the strip club, why you go?
Well, I don't go. I don't go to strip clubs. Or you know what? The times I have went to strip clubs is because I was riding with somebody. So that's why I don't like riding with people, because you have to go where they want to go.
Miguel, when you used to go to the strip club and spend your whole check, why did you do it?
For a fun time, not a long time.
I'd rather have a woman I know strip for me, tell you you can keep it afterwards, and we're gonna get it in after that shit. I'm not going somewhere to get teased.
Okay, but yeah, so I think that is also weird that majority of men say they want to be utility, they want to be useful to their woman, and then when a woman says all the useful things that a man is, that's the same thing that they complain about. I also find that very weird as well. And again, it's men complain about women naturally being women. It's weird, and I also think it's weird that a woman would literally complain about a man taking care of bills when that's what he want to do. Majority of men that's doing it, that's what they want to do. They're not getting tricked into that shit, even though they come online and act like they're getting tricked. But that ain't the truth.
You said women complain about men paying bills?
Yeah, that's what she was saying. His dick ain't on the bills. So?
Oh, yeah.
All right, why'd you complain about it? My name ain't on her vagina, but I'm not gonna be mad if my wife is. I don't make no sense. Just because my name is not on my woman's vagina doesn't mean she should give it away to somebody else. So his name or his penis being on the bills, what does that mean? If he want to pay it, then pay it. Majority of men, they feel better when they pay. Is that most men don't want to be used. That's what they really complain about. Nobody want to be just used. Your name is Bill or your name is food.
Right. I think that's what I was getting at when I was talking about what does she bring to the table. I was just saying, like, what is what is she bringing to him that makes him want to pay the bills? What you ask me, but men just don't want to be used. That's basically what it comes down to. I mean, nobody wants to be used, men or women, but.
Right.
And my thing is, don't leave with your wallet, then get mad when she asks you for money.
Absolutely. And so I think we ran this conversation. Maybe I'll come back and I'll scream at y'all later. Sheesh. Love y'all. Speak to y'all soon.